Hey, good evening, everybody. This is Frostbite. I'm going to be doing some nickels, just kind of an impromptu thing. Hadn't really planned or prepared for this, but let's do it anyway. Hope everybody's having a good night. Excuse me just a second while I get set up. Set up my other camera here just a second, and then we'll go ahead and start going through this. Hope everybody's having a good night tonight. Again, this is just kind of impromptu. I'm going to be doing some nickels. Went and got a new box tonight and figured I would come and do this while kind of did some preparation for my trip that's coming up. So if you want to pop in and say hi, please do so. Otherwise, I'm just going to be sitting here going through stuff. Hope everybody's having a decent evening. I know there's a lot of big channels doing stuff tonight. I don't expect. Hey, what's going up, Josh C? How are you doing, brother? Hope you're doing well. I'm just going to be going through some nickels, kind of hanging out. There's a lot of big channels doing stuff tonight, but I just wanted to kind of hang out, just check this stuff out, see what I could find. Looking for some varieties, looking for some errors. See if I can find anything of interest tonight. Kind of just hanging out. Going to be away from YouTube for about a week, so I figured I'd put some stuff out, get some time up. Yeah, I hope I have one too. I'm just going to share this screen. I'm not going to show anything down here. Haven't found anything so far. I did find out that the 2011s that I thought I was finding, unfortunately, they're all machine doubling. I didn't know that there was a issue with the machine doubling on that, so was kind of let down a little bit because I thought I'd actually found some stuff on the last one, but apparently that was a no-go. So I'm just kind of looking through some things. Again, I tried to order this box a little over 2 weeks ago. Hey, JM, thanks for being in here, brother. Appreciate you. It's good to see you in here. Just trying to go through and see what I can find. See if I can find any errors or varieties. I put in my nickel thing about 2 weeks ago, and they called me and said, "Hey, they finally arrived." So it was nice to be able to get this in. So I figured I would try and get out here and do something small tonight, just to waste some time. So what do you guys got going on tonight? Anything? Any cool things happening for you guys? It's obviously a quiet night at my house. Everybody is gone, so it's just me. I figured I would come and spend some time and visit. I've only got 2 more coins to fill out my book. Is that in Denver? I didn't see that. Yeah, it's Denver. I only got 2 more coins to wrap up my nickel book, and then I'll have every nickel from 2013 on. If you want to come up, you're more than welcome. I'll throw the link in there. I don't expect this is really impromptu, so I'm not expecting anybody, but Matt's here. You're more than welcome to come on up. Josh, if you're still here, you're more than welcome to pop in too. Just chit chat. Like I said, I'm not expecting too many people in, but you're more than welcome to fire on in and say hi and see what's happening. I got 3 boxes of pennies today, along with my box of nickels. All right, so I know there's something in 64. 64, we're looking for a double die obverse on In God We Trust. And there's no doubling on that. So nothing in the 64. Nothing on 98. Hey, good evening. How's it going?
Doing well. I was just muted there. I always mute and shut the camera off when I enter a stream initially. So
that's actually fairly wise, because it never fails that as soon as you don't, somebody comes in, or in my case, my wife starts cussing at the kids.
Yeah. Yeah, something. Yeah, I haven't noticed that all the time, but I've noticed it frequently recently.
Yeah, and it just seems to happen right when you get in, right? It can't happen midstream. It's, you open the door and bam, it's there for you.
Yeah.
So what stream did you get postponed on?
Right. So my channel focuses on dogs, music and entertainment, finance, and precious metals. And so it was a music and entertainment stream called Deedsville Network Entertainment.
Cool.
And so he's building up a music community with some really cool musicians, and usually it's pretty hopping. But like I said, it got deferred. So I was just scrolling around, looking to see who else is live. And I thought, I haven't really stopped in and visited you much. So here I am.
Well, I really appreciate you popping in. It's the problem with, really getting to know anybody new is that there's so many established channels out there that you're used to visiting, that it's just, and I don't take it personally, but I'm an afterthought in a lot of cases just because I'm brand new. And I understand that. So whenever somebody does come by, it's like, hey, thanks for being here. I really appreciate it. But I don't take that stuff personally. You can't.
No, and it's really easy to, because you end up having a bit of an emotional attachment to the channel and the results and your expectations. But it's like you said, it's not personal. It's more a numbers game and being persistent and patience.
Yeah, and if you're doing something on a regular schedule, you have people that are going to pop in more frequently.
Yep.
If you do stuff like this, now, if Silver Seeker did an impromptu, he'd still get 900 viewers.
Oh, yeah.
Right? It's by default of volume. But me, on the other hand, I'll be happy if I get a max people of 10 in here. Because there's so many other people that are streaming right now, and it is not a great night to go live without having some sort of advance notice.
Yep.
So,
but you're putting yourself out there. It's also kind of like fishing, if you don't throw the net out, you won't catch anything. Or if you don't throw the line out.
Yeah, that's a great analogy, because it's true. You just got to get out there. And again, I was told, found it buried.
Yep.
Okay, I was talking to him, and he goes, there's times where you're going to do an entire stream to one person.
Absolutely.
Hey, kid of mine. Hey, how you doing? Thanks for popping in. It's good to see you. But yeah, it's just one of those things where I enjoy doing it. And I figured I'm looking at it anyway.
Yep.
I might as well just throw something up. If somebody shows up, they show up. And if they don't, then, is what it is. So what else are you going to be doing tonight? You just going to be popping around channel to channel saying hi?
That's pretty much it. Usually it's pretty hopping, but there wasn't a whole lot on there. And the maybe 10 or 12 that my screen was showing were live. Yours just jumped out as something that, I'd be a bit interested in. And I know I haven't really been by much. So I thought, well, let's stop by.
Well, I appreciate it. Yeah, Keto Mind, I'm doing really good. I appreciate you stopping in. We're just doing like an impromptu nickel search. I finally got my box in. It took me almost 2 weeks to get my box. But the manager was like, I can give you a bunch of pennies. So I picked up 3 boxes of pennies. So it was kind of win-win in that regard. So JM, tell me a little bit more about your channel. So what is it that you do with the dogs? What's your focus in that regard?
Thanks for asking, and I'll get into that. But the one other thing I quick wanted to mention on our previous subject was I just thought I'd let you know, and I'll even turn my camera on here too. I've actually found following the larger channels, especially on live streams, actually starts becoming a little bit overwhelming for me to try to keep up with the chat and what's going on in the information. And so I've started actually leaning more towards just popping in the smaller channels that do have 10 or 20, people in there, rather than once there's more than 100, there's a lot of stuff going on. And so as smaller channels, I'd say don't give up hope, because I'm sure there'll be other people that'll be doing that too. But
yeah, well, again, my whole thing is, number one, I don't have much of an expectation right now. Hey, Some Bungie, thanks for coming in. Appreciate you stopping in, saying hi. So far, I haven't found anything, but again, just started. I don't really have much of an expectation right now, which kind of is a good thing.
I think so too. It's it'll be an emotional roller coaster.
Yeah, and
for almost anyone.
I think the hard part, I'm more trying to figure out, why is it that I can have, okay, so 96 is something, what is it? Double die RPM. No, that's not right. Why can I do 2 videos kind of within the same context? One gets 54 views and the other one gets 2.3 thousand. It's like, what's the difference? And I go back and I look at the content, and I think the content's better on the one that nobody watched.
Yep.
But why did the other one get so many? And so that's been the thing that I've been trying to figure out.
Well, I think that I met you on Salivate Metals channel, although, sorry,
Yeah,
Salivate.
probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sal, I like that dude, man. But he gave me an opportunity by allowing me to interview him for my interview group that I've done, and that was a fun interview. But Sal's a great guy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's so humble and laid back.
Yep.
Hey, what's up, Anxious Stacker? This is another dude that is a cool guy. He is holy cow, what is it? 18-month Anxious, drug and alcohol free. Started getting into stacking to get his mind off of it. Been doing a really good job. I always give him kudos whenever he pops in, because anybody who's ever dealt with any kind of addiction knows that is probably one of the hardest things that you can overcome. But yeah, good dude there. So I got some people that come in and check on me periodically, and they're pretty loyal. So what were you going to say? Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Yeah, so I was going to say, Sal has mentioned it frequently in live streams that it's just amazing. He'll put all this time and energy into a video that he thinks is a great subject and it's going to be popular, and he puts all the effort into it and it tanks. And then he does another one that he didn't put that much effort in it. It was really almost I don't want to put words in his mouth. I was going to say like filler content, just something to put up. And it does really well. And I hear that from a lot of people. It's really hit and miss. I've been focusing on shorts videos because I found that they tend to hit more frequently than they miss relative to the long form videos or lives. And they also get a lot of subscribers. But even those are very, very hit and miss. I can upload 10 shorts and 2 of them will do really well and 8 of them just tank or do moderately okay.
Yeah, again, like I said, I'm really confused about how that works. I've had I like to do stupid jokes. I'm a dad joke kind of person. I like getting people to laugh. And I know they don't get a lot of views, and I just like to do them because that's more for me than it is for anybody else.
Yep.
But I have 2 of them that have like 6,000 views. It was like, okay, what was it about this one that everybody liked, right? But I think that, it's just who's there, when are they there? Was anybody else on during that time frame? Was nothing else coming out? I think there's so many things.
Yep. There's things like, will it get several or many thumbs up relatively quickly after you make it public? And the other one too is if you get 1 or 2 thumbs down fairly quickly, I found on the shorts videos anyway, it can start taking off and you get 1 or 2 thumbs down and then it just kills it.
Oh yeah, a thumb down will tank you really, really quickly. I found that out too.
Yep.
But again, it is what it is. And if you have somebody that doesn't like you and they're out to do whatever to you, they can jeopardize your stuff too.
I think I've got one of those. Pretty much every shorts video that I upload, I get 1 thumbs down. 1.
Yeah, I wish people wouldn't be just cranky.
Yeah. And you know what? I think the algorithm actually figures that out over time anyway. If it only makes sense if there's someone subscribed to you, so they're getting notifications and they give you thumbs down all the time. I'm sure the algorithm looks at how each user, how many thumbs down do they give, and is it always to the same channel?
Yeah.
That way.
Yeah, there's got to be something in there that flags those kind of things.
Yeah.
Because you're right, it happens frequently.
Yeah.
But so anyway, back to the question about your channel and the dogs.
Yep.
Tell me a little bit about what your focus is on that, what that's like.
So I've worked many, many different jobs in my life, most of which were professional office jobs. And I decided to give it up and I started doing dog walking. So that's why my profile picture is 3 of my customers' dogs that I either used to walk or still do. The one up front passed away. So the focus of my channel is dogs, dog walking, music, entertainment, finance, and precious metals. And it's kind of focused in that. It's like weighted that way too. So the least amount of content on my channel is the finance and precious metals. And honestly, it's because that's what hasn't done as well on my channel. What's done the best is the dogs for sure. And then the music and entertainment second, and finance and precious metals. It's still done respectably, but just I don't get near as many views and comments and thumbs up on those.
I can see that. Anything pets seems to do really, really well.
Precisely. Yeah.
Because who doesn't love a funny dog or a funny video of a cat or something like that?
Exactly.
But the coin community is kind of, we're really tight in that regard.
Sorry to interrupt you. I don't know. I suspect you know Nick Molnar quite well, but I just noticed that he said he'll come up if you post the link.
Oh man, I don't want Nick in here.
Hi, Nick. Good to see you.
The link's in there, brother. Come on up.
Sorry to interrupt you.
No interruption at all. Nick's a great guy. I love Nick.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, he's another one of my fellow dad joke junkies.
Right on.
He's always got the terrible joke too. So, yeah, Nick's always welcome up on my channel.
Yep, I like Nick's channel too. In fact, if memory serves correct, I think I'm a member there. But like I mentioned to you earlier, I really kind of spread myself thin. So it's tough for me to, it's impossible for me to watch all of everybody's videos. And so I don't even try.
No, and you can't. I mean, if you were to do it to where you hit even the main ones that you watch, you'd run out of time.
Yeah, I like supporting the live streams. I find that probably to be the actually the best. It's like quality time spent.
Yeah, and just general chit chat.
Yep.
And I talk about this with a number of people. There are people from all walks of life that I would never have the opportunity to meet if it wouldn't have been for a live stream.
Yep.
I mean, Nick's in Canada. Where are you at?
I'm in Canada as well.
Okay. I knew it was obviously somewhere cold because you're wearing a hat and I'm sitting here in shorts and t-shirt.
We call it a toque. And Nick can tell you too, like any live stream I'm on, if the subject of finance or precious metals, even if I'm on a live stream talking about dogs or music and entertainment, if there's any way I can add it into the conversation, I've always got a nice little stack of silver and some coins and stuff like that here that I can use as a prop.
That he does. Hey, everybody.
How you doing, Nick?
Nick.
Thanks for popping in here, bud.
Hey. Always welcome to come up and say hello to everybody.
Hi, Annette. This is another person that I love, Annette Esmond. She's awesome.
Annette, yes, she is. Hello, Annette.
So what do you think, Nick? Do you think the winter's pretty much over? It's starting to feel like spring is on its way.
I hope so. My goodness. Dang. Today was pretty nice. Yeah, -1+2. You're in Ontario, Canada, where I hear near Toronto, and it was pretty nice. So hopefully it will get warm, because I wanted to get warm. I want to get out there metal detecting.
Yep.
Jeez.
And when you say -1 or -2, that's Celsius, so that's about 30, around 30 degrees Fahrenheit.
Yeah, give it. Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Hey, BH. Hey, Carrie Z. Thanks for coming up. It's nice to see you in here. Appreciate
I just want spring to come, everybody. Everyone wants spring to come. I'm done with winter.
Me too. I'm finding it more difficult every year. And this year wasn't even that bad, all in all.
When we get to our 50s, well, my 50s, things get slowed down, and we just want to get out there and just do whatever. And I'm looking to do I want to do more metal detecting than anything this year. So, yeah.
I hope you have good luck on it. I've been invited up north near North Cobalt.
Okay, North Cobalt. I know where that is.
Yeah. Definitely north of North Bay in Sudbury.
Do you know Bradford, Wisconsin?
Yep. I have a cousin that lives there, and I have an uncle that lives in Newmarket.
Okay. Well, in my area in Bradford, Wisconsin, I have a friend that has 600 acres of land.
Nice.
And he said, Nick, it's all yours. I'm like, okay, well, do you mind if I bring some friends? He's not at all. So 2023, 2024, 2025, 26, we're going to have some fun. It's it's going to take more than 3 or 4 years to go through all that. So I can't wait to do that. Oh my
Well,
gosh.
I'm thinking you might want to. Okay, well, he's right near where you are, so you don't need to take a tent or camp out or anything.
Oh no. Well, no. He's 10 minutes away from me. So, yeah.
Can't get much better than that.
Not at all. He's actually a good friend of the family, former mayor of the town. Holy jeez.
I hope you have some really good luck with it, and I hope that you're recording. When you find it.
If I find anything, I definitely will. Yeah, absolutely. But local people, I'm gonna just say right now, hey, frostbite. If anybody's up here in Ontario, Canada, near me, and they want to join me, and if I can if they don't mind me having someone else come up, I would love to do that. Just saying.
See, I'm always looking to do something new and get places. My thing is I have to prepare it so far in advance because of what I do for work. So mine is like I would have to prepare for, late spring now if I was going to coordinate and book anything simply because of working with physicians and hospitals and stuff. I don't have.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah, you got to take. Yeah,
well in advance.
Yeah. So my problem is it's like, hey, we're going to go next week. It's like, oh, that would be fun. Hey, Jersey Silver Stacker, thanks for popping in, saying hi. Appreciate you coming in. We're just chit-chatting it up and looking for something, hopefully, in this nickel roll. So hopefully we can find something good.
Hit that like button, everybody.
Hi to everybody I did not say hi to yet.
So, Nick, the other day, you'd be really proud of me because we were at Found It Buried stream, and I was carrying on the tradition of stupid joke telling. And I was told that if I continued, they would ask me to leave.
I actually watched it after the fact. I saw that.
I was like, oh no, please stop. Yeah, no more.
I watched it after the fact. I wasn't on the live stream or I watched it. I saw you there. That's awesome. You did a good job. That's awesome.
It's a lot of fun.
Oh, George is lots of fun. He's a crazy man. I love him, man. And he found some paint. He found those the black painted ones. What the heck?
He found that box. Now, JM, I don't know if you happened to do that. So he did a Toonie search.
That was nuts.
Holy smokes! So we found it was nine of the black Toonies.
The new ones.
Found a painted V. We found in my rolls, I found both an unpainted and a painted insulin, both in the same roll. Found Hoosier, what's up? Thanks for popping in. Appreciate you coming in.
You guys cleaned up on that box. Oh my gosh.
It was unreal.
Crazy. That was awesome. Holy crud.
Yeah.
Hey, Hoosier Stacker. Hello.
Hoosier, dude, that Hoosier Bingo thing, that's a lot of fun. I've got to look at a little bit more about what's going on, but I kind of got the gist of it pretty quickly. That's you got a good thing going on there, dude. If you guys haven't been, you got to go check out that Hoosier Bingo. That's some fun stuff.
Hoosier Stacker is awesome.
Yeah,
he's got some cool stuff going on.
Him and I got a winner here in the nickel roll.
The thing I found with Hoosier Bingo though was my numbers sucked.
Yeah. So 7 of mine are like in the last row. So it's either feast or famine, right? You do good or you just ain't going to do nothing. So, but that was a lot of fun. That was the first time that I had been on his channel watching that. I mean, I've watched, videos and stuff from the channel, but actually doing the bingo, I was like, that was a lot of fun. That was pretty cool. You got a good thing there.
And there's a great group of people there too. It's good
Yeah.
group.
Well, I mean, there's so
Oh,
many
amazing.
people.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Great chat, lots of corny people giving each other grief, and that's the kind of fun that I like to have. Don't worry about computer issues, man. We all understand that.
Oh my
You know,
gosh. Totally.
not everybody can have a perfectly flawless stream.
I know I don't have flawless streams.
I've never had one.
I think the only flawless stream I've seen is in the mountain.
Give me a second. I'll be right back. Hold on.
Good one.
But no, that was a lot of fun. That was a lot of fun, Hoosier. So, Annette, what are you out doing tonight? You got any fun plans, or are you just going to be popping in and out? So she's a new collector too. She recently came in. First couple streams, I would say, man, maybe a month, 2 months ago.
Nice.
And she's become a regular staple in some of these, and eager to learn and paying attention. That's a lot of fun to be a part of. I love working with people and helping people understand and identify stuff, and
Yep.
that's really cool.
Yeah, and I like learning too. To answer your earlier question, no, I don't really do any coin roll hunting, but I always keep my eyes on the pocket change for anything that's silver or nickel, or copper even. My focus really is and has been stacking, but I've been trying to learn, some of the numismatic elements of collecting as well. It's a steep learning curve. There's a lot of information.
Hoosier, you want to pop on in here for a little while and visit? You're more than welcome to if you want to. Just give me the word and I'll send you the link. Yeah, it's thanks, Annette. I appreciate that. That's very nice of you. I'm a collector first and foremost, so I like looking for stuff. I like the thrill of being able to come across things. But I think the reason that I really got into it this time was because of stacking, and going, if I'm going to spend my money, I want to make sure I'm spending my money on something that is going to benefit me or my family later. And, looking at, it's fun to collect pennies. It's fun to go through that stuff. But if I'm going to be saving money, I don't necessarily want to keep it all in the bank. I want to make sure that I have something to barter with if something bad happened. Or if, I had something where I was in a situation where I just, needed some additional support or help, then I have something to fall back on.
Yep.
And I don't mind spending some money to gain that silver or that gold.
Yep.
Because one, I like looking at it. It's fun to look at. It's fun to have, fun to hold. But I know that if anything was to happen, then I would have something to make sure that it got me through that difficult time. And so I've really been trying to pair my love for collecting and still finding, I like, and this is where Hoosier's going to cringe, because him and I had our interview last night. So his interview is going to come out on Thursday of next week. So if you guys want to check out a fun little interview, I had a really fun conversation with Hoosier on Friday night, or was it Friday night? Thursday night.
Yep.
So yeah, Annette. So you know what? We got a couple. Nick just disconnected, so hopefully he can come back on. Let me throw this on. We got a great guy. So JM is really good at this, but we're going to get Hoosier in here. So Annette's question is, can you explain stacking? And so I'm going to give you my explanation, and then I'm going to have JM and give you his, and then I'm going to have.
That's my explanation right there.
There you go. That's
stacking.
stacking in a nutshell. Right? Actually, it's not a nutshell. That's stacking in a shed, or yeah. So collecting is finding a coin that goes as part of a series or something that you like. It's hobbyistic. Stacking is about the weight. It's making sure that you have, whether it be gold, silver, whether it be, it could be gold, it could be silver, it could be coins. Oops, Nick, I just bumped my mouse and hung up on you. Click that link and come back in, please. I apologize. That was leaning over and hitting the mouse. I didn't mean to remove you from the stream. Please come back in.
He will.
Yeah, let me put that back. It's in the chat, so go ahead and click on that. There you go. Sorry, brother. That was, they normally say fat fingers, but that was just leaning over. And here's the devil himself. Welcome, Hoosier.
Man, talk about.
Sorry about that. I'm having problems here. Shoot.
Talk about a crazy night on the show. Jeez.
It was a little rough, but
we don't know what's crazy about all that, and we still don't know what happened. Somehow or another, Johnny, Cajun Reseller, his channel and my channel paired up, and we were simulcasting across both channels at the same time.
Wow.
We don't know how. We didn't set up anything to do that. It just started. It just did it.
You found a glitch in the matrix.
I guess. But yeah, it was like, because we were sitting here watching the restream chat, right? And then we started seeing these pair messages coming in from people that wasn't on my channel, but rather they were on Johnny's channel, and they were saying, "Hi, Johnny." They thought that we were playing bingo on his channel. That's why he kept telling everyone, "Come over to my channel and come over to Hoosier's channel," because yeah, I mean, it was weird. It's like, we didn't set it up that way, but somehow or another they paired us together, which isn't a bad thing, because as a result, I actually got more subscribers as a result of that. Because a lot of people were coming over from his channel that weren't subscribed.
We're getting some glitches on YouTube and everything else.
Yeah, but you know what? It's not the only one, because I was on Big Flip's channel earlier today, and
I'm on
he was
that
having
False Lights video stream.
He was having some major issues as well. So, hey, if you're talking to somebody who's on YouTube, tell them to come on up.
It's no one. It's just HVAC.
Oh, yeah, okay.
HVAC.
I was on your channel there, Hoosier Stacker, earlier, and I don't know what happened.
Well,
everything.
Yeah, but
my internet and everything's been going crazy. Hey, John Chum in the house. Hello, John Chum.
Hey, John
Everything's going crazy tonight. I have I think I know what's going on tonight. It's my daughter's birthday, and things are going cuckoo because of her.
Oh, well, happy birthday.
I blame her tonight, so it's her fault.
Big birthday? What birthday is she having?
It's her 18th birthday tonight, Frostbite.
Oh, outstanding.
18. She's 18 years old tonight. Oh my gosh. It's
the
not
world
good.
Is changing. So, real quick, I want to get back to something. So we kind of talked about this very, very briefly. But so let's finish up with the question that Annette asked regarding what is stacking. So Annette, if you look at Legos, or you look at depending upon how old you are, Lincoln Logs, then stacking is basically exactly what the word implies. It's just adding things on top of the pile. Now you can stack silver, you can stack gold, you can stack platinum, you can stack copper, and you can stack, whether it be bars, you can stack rounds, you can stack constitutional silver. It doesn't really matter what it is. Stacking is just, it's collecting the item for weight, right? Because you're looking at getting a value. Now, Hoosier's not he's on mute, but he'll come back in just a moment. JM, you want to talk a little bit about your experience with stacking and
Sure.
kind of do that? So let's go ahead and throw that
Yep.
over to you.
Okay, thanks. I would also say that it's different. Stacking is definitely different now than it was, say, 3 years ago, because the premiums have really gone up. And so I would add to what you were saying there. Stacking is not really looking for the collectible items so much as, like Frostbite said, it's about adding weight. So now especially it's about looking for the low premium items. So typically it won't be slabbed. Typically it won't really be all that collectible, but you can get into what they call semi-numismatics, and that would still be considered stacking. So in a way, stacking is almost a slang. It's almost a slang term for, I would say, having an emphasis towards weight as an emphasis towards collectability.
Now, you said something that's extremely important, and I want to hone in on this, and that is the numismatic side of stacking. It's important for stackers to understand the numismatic side, because if you can have a gold coin that's worth $2,200 in stacking in the gold value, but if that gold coin is a 1904 Godden's Double Eagle, the numismatic value may be 20,000 instead of 2,200. So if you're going to be stacking coin, especially if it's gold from not bullion, but actually stacking gold currency, it's important that you understand what it is that you're looking at. So you don't want to stack purely for weight if you're collecting those types of coins. And at that point, it's kind of a cross. And Hoosier will talk about this when he comes back, because we mentioned this in our discussion the other day, which is, you can stack completely and not be a collector, but it doesn't free you of the fact that you need to understand the numismatic value. Simply because, if you're going to, and I've seen a couple of videos lately, and there's a couple people, hopefully they come in. I would love to see one of the jewelers that I follow, or one of the coin ring makers that I follow, talk about this as well. And that is, you see videos of people making gold rings, right? And, if you get into a bad place, he just fell off. Hopefully he comes back on. If you get into a bad place and the coin is better for melt, so you get your melt value is more than the cost of the coin, they're going to melt the coin every day to throw that into the silver stack and be done with it. But then those coins are relieved. But what you want to be careful doing is, if you're going to be doing that, you're going to be making a ring or something out of gold, you really want to make sure that you understand the numismatic value of that, because that gold ring that you make, that you sell for $2,200, you may have just lost, 90% of your potential profit.
That's right.
So it's very important that you understand you don't have to be an expert in it. Just make sure you have somebody in your back pocket, like, Hoosier, like Salivate, right? Have some of those guys. If you're really questioning it,
Yep.
Ask. Make sure you do your due diligence beforehand, because you could really you could really depress the hell out of yourself by making a snap to decision. You could lose a lot of money, or you could sell it thinking that you're getting decent money for something else, and then come to find out you just you undersold yourself by 80%.
Yep. Very
So
good points.
be really careful if you're doing this just to stack. Make sure you have a good insight when it comes to the numismatic value of these things as well. So, and anybody who's a stacker will tell you the same thing. Anybody who's worth their weight. Sorry.
And
I had to do fun.
most
Sorry.
stackers will also tell you and acknowledge that there ends up being a crossover where someone that enters the market as a pure stacker ends up becoming interested in the collectability of the different items. So yeah, differentiating between whether it's just bullion, basic bullion, as opposed to what some people call better bullion, and then definitely you hit the nail on the head with the constitutional. You want to make sure you know what has numismatic value. Some people, like I know HVAC is big on cleaning his coins, but all of them have zero numismatic value, right?
Yeah. So Annette, I put a link in there, and I want you to go check this out sometime soon.
I'm back.
Hey, thanks for coming back. This
Welcome back.
is a great video by the man that we call Uncle Sal. And it is how and when did the term stacking start? And it's a really good video to look at and to kind of get an understanding. I think it'll give you a lot of good information on the term and help you understand what that is. So with that being said, now that we got Hoosier back, Hoosier, let's talk. Whoop, sorry, didn't mean to drop that in your ears. Let's talk a little bit about stacking. So I think you heard some of that.
No, I didn't hear a thing.
Oh, okay. Well, now you sound like my wife. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
So
She's right behind you with a rolling pin. What you say?
No, it's cast iron skillet. Yeah, we don't have a rolling pin. Cast iron skillet, on the other hand. So we were talking about, and asked the question, what is stacking? We talked about weight versus collectibles. Same thing you and I talked about the other night, by the way,
Right.
for our little video here. But I wanted to make sure, so I told her that, stacking, you have to understand the numismatic value if you're going to be stacking any kind of gold or silver currency, just so you don't undercut yourself. But talk to her in your own words a little bit about what stacking is, what your strategy is, and let's give her a little impromptu lesson on stacking 101.
Well, stacking is you are acquiring as much silver weight or precious metal weight, be it silver or gold, for the least amount of price. And the purpose of stacking, if you're a true bona fide stacker, you stack for the weight for the best price in order to preserve your wealth, in order to have savings available, in order to counter all the crazy inflation that we're seeing. And yes, the third reason why you stack is to be prepared in case we have a bad situation economically, to where you would have cash, actual tangible cash, not fiat, actual precious metal coins, bound rounds and bars, to help survive during a bad situation. And the premise is you want to be prepared in a hopes that you never have to use it. But at the same time, if you don't use it, at least you're not hurting anything. But at the same time, if you need it but you don't have it, then it's going to be more painful for you. So it goes back to the old adage, I would rather have it and not need it than to not need it and have it, or whatever. So it's just a level. It's just a level of preparedness should you need to fall back on cold, hard precious metals in order to survive. And I always say that you use your silver, particularly in my case, constitutional silver or junk silver, 9% silver. You use your silver to survive during a bad situation, and then you use your gold afterwards if you need to rebuild after a bad situation. That's always been my stance on why I stack.
Yeah, I appreciate you explaining that. And again, we got a bunch of great resources. If you want to know more, Annette, go check out that video. Again, I appreciate Hoosier and JM coming in and talking about what their ideas of stacking are. And again, there's no wrong answer when it comes to doing what you want to do. Just make sure you have good strategies and ask questions, lots and lots of questions, because there's a lot of good people out here who are willing to help out.
And exactly. There is a plethora of information out here. There's plenty of people out here that are willing to share their knowledge. As I said to Frost during that interview, there's plenty of information out here to share to not only inspire you, but also aspire to the next level. So you can inspire others, and you can be inspired by others by sharing your knowledge and just being part of the community to best protect yourself should you need it. Again, it goes back to the old adage, you hope you don't ever need it, but at least if you need it, you'll have it.
Exactly.
Okay, I'm back now. Hoosier, can you repeat all that?
No. Look for my cliff notes.
If I can make one suggestion to anybody who's thinking about stacking or collecting coin, do so within your means.
Oh right? Yeah, absolutely.
Don't be chasing the bus. Don't be trying to compare yourselves to some of these people who have been doing this for years and have stacks like Sal's or Silver Stacker or those folks, because they've been doing this a long, long time. Don't go into debt just so you can talk about the good stuff you have. Do so within your means. Use it as a source of saving money. Don't drown in it. You'll learn to regret it and loathe it, and it'll no longer be something that's fun or economical for you. So do not chase it.
Yeah. And never go all in, and always remember diversification is very important. Some people will disagree with that, but that's my opinion.
The big thing when it comes to stacking, it is a long game. It is not a get rich quick. It is not a investment. It is a store of wealth. And a lot of people don't understand that. And I didn't understand when I first came into the community. I was looking for a way to invest. I was actually looking for a way to save, because my way of saving cash or saving fiat wasn't working out. So by actually saving my wealth or storing my wealth in precious metals, it actually makes me more disciplined to do so, because I can't just go, if I have invested into precious metals, I just can't go to my bank and cash it out, or I just can't go to an ATM and cash it out. Society, the industry, the banking industry, society as a whole has made it way too easy for you to access your assets. And that is a double-edged sword, because you have people that can't save. They're not disciplined to save, because everything's too easy for them. If they want to go buy something, I don't have any cash. Well, just whip out the plastic card and swipe the card. The society and the industry has made it too easy to not save, and that's the biggest thing that precious metals does. It does force you to save in an asset that isn't as quickly lickable or liquidable, or if that's even a real word,
Don't be licking your gold.
lickable. But you can't. But they've made it too easy to where you don't, unless you are truly disciplined in your savings. People just don't save like you should because society and the industries have made it too easy to access your money. With precious metals, you actually have to stop and take the time and actually take your precious metals to an LCS or whomever to cash out in order to access that cash for whatever you want to use it for. So it's actually allowed me to actually save more than than I have in the past because I just couldn't do it before.
It forces you to budget a little bit leaner too.
Do what, Jam?
It forces one to have to budget, more lean as well.
Yeah, and that's another thing is you don't want, as you guys say, you don't want to go all in. It is a long game. You always want to stack consistently, repeatedly, but always within your means. You don't ever want to go into debt for it. You have extra cash that you aren't going to miss. You convert that cash into precious metals, and you do it slowly and consistently and steadily, but always stay within your means. And because it is a long game, you can acquire precious metals in small quantities. And as long as you keep the long game in mind, if you do that consistently, not only does it allow you to acquire more silver or gold at an affordable level, it also drives down the actual cost and time of how much I don't want to say the word investing, but how much you're investing into precious metal. Again, you're not investing, you're saving, you're storing your wealth.
I like the idea of using the envelope system too for saving up to get the items that you want. You save it in cash in the envelope. But I also believe in never deploying all the cash in the envelope, because if there is a big smackdown or a market drop, and a lot of people advocate that, you want to have some dry powder.
Yeah, and I actually equate keeping cash as a buffer between life and my precious metals.
Nice.
And I have an amount of cash. I don't have as much as I feel I need, so I'm slowly building my actual cash reserve. My Be Your Own Bank, BYOB. I am actually acquiring cash in order to maintain that buffer between life and my precious metal. Because there's been times where I've had to sell gold and silver to make up a loss for something, and it sucked, but at the same time I'm glad I had it, because if I didn't have it, I would have done something stupid like take out a payday loan or something like that to get by.
Yeah,
So
man, that's a huge key, because you want to maintain, and I have a problem with money burns a hole in my pocket. There's that old adage. But if I keep stuff, it stays in a safe, or it stays in a safety deposit box, and I have to go out of my way to get to it. Right?
Mhm.
It's just not readily available. So what I've started doing to save my other currency, or to actually save fiat, is I have another account. It's another banking account with another institution where I get all of my coin rolls from. And I deposit money. I have a certain amount of money deposited into that account every time. And it's a secondary savings account. I don't have a debit card attached to it. I don't have a checking account attached to it. It is totally and utterly separate. There's no other bank linked to it. It's totally separate. And the reason that I do that, one, is because I want to keep my play money, like coin money, separated. Because if I'm going through coins, like this box, it's $100 for a roll of nickels. I may find maybe half a roll and then take the rest back. That money immediately gets deposited And so that money always stays there. But if I need a couple $100, it's there, right? So that's kind of my emergency fund, but it's not tied to a debit card. It's
So
not tied
you
to a credit card. It's not
Right.
tied to checks. It's not tied to anything.
so you don't have easy access to it. That's the key thing.
Yeah, and so it actually makes it more of a true savings account
Right.
because I can't tap into it without purposefully going out and getting it.
You would have to take the time to actually go to the bank, access the money from the account or whatever
Yeah,
during business hours.
during
Yep.
business hours. Exactly.
yeah. So it's got to be a concerted effort in order to get it. It's not
So, and that gives you the opportunity to stop and think, do I really need this?
Yeah, and the bank that I go to is like 40 minutes away. So it's
So you
not,
gotta be really
not a
committed.
light, it's not a light choice. You know,
Nah.
I mean, I've got to make a concerted effort to go out there.
Yep.
Now there's other branches that are fairly close. And I could go to one of the other ones if I really, really needed to, but you know, I don't go to them because they're my dump banks. So I only go in there when I'm dropping stuff off. I don't go in there otherwise. Yeah, so if you have a strategy like that and you want to do something, take away the availability to get your money quickly. You know, now you were talking about the envelope system.
Yep.
Now I tried that.
Yep.
And the envelopes caught fire because I don't know where that money went. It was a strategy. It didn't work for me. I know people that can do the envelope system and works great for them. I can't do that because if I have it,
Yep.
it's going to be, you know what? I want to go have Subway.
Gotcha.
You know what? I need to go do this. You know what? Yeah, and I will justify my money away.
Well, I'll tell you a little story about that if you got, it's about a 1 minute story.
Fire away.
The way I started was with an envelope, and you guys have $5 bills in the States, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So here I'm in Canada. We've got $5 bills. They're worth even less than the $5 bills in the States. But the way I started it was every banknote, $5 banknote that looked like it was in like brilliant uncirculated condition, like pristine, I stick that in the envelope. All the ones that are wrinkled up, beat up, whatever else, I spend those. And after the course of time, I ended up with a nice fat envelope of fives. But, you know, when you want to go to Subway or something like that, I also have a coin pail filled with change. And so my first go-to for small items like that would be my bucket full of coins. The second one would be the envelope. But I was hard on myself. Like I would say, you know, JM, if you have to dip into that freaking envelope for a Subway sandwich, you're pathetic. You know what I mean? And so I would just find another way to do it, or I'd go to the grocery store and, you know, get groceries rather than doing fast food. And then I went to $10 bills and then $20 bills. And sure enough, just like Hoosier said, and I love the analogy, that cash reserve is a buffer between life and the metals or your collectibles. It was the same thing. And I'd much rather dip into an envelope and jeopardize that than have to trade in or cash in some metal. So I found that it's not a flawless system, but it's a great way to get inertia on building up cash reserve. And a $5 bills, you know, most people, you know, come through at least several $5 bills they can do without in a week.
Yeah, I did something not exactly similar, but kind of similar in that I went and bought $200. So I basically bought a stack of 100 $2 bills, and they were all consecutive. They were all pristine, and I just sat on them because, again, I don't want to spend them.
That's right.
You know, they're sequential. There's a radar note inside there. Now, if I want to pull that one out and sell it, then I can do that. That's fine. But it's just the way of thinking about it is it's not just any money. I bought that for a very specific purpose. Now, it sounds weird to say it, but I bought that, right? I don't, it's not just mine to spend. I went and purchased that money. And I know it sounds kind of funny, but I have a hard time spending something I bought, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, it's something that you wanted and you liked it, and it's nice. It's worthwhile hanging on to.
Yeah, and I always feel weird spending $2 bills. I don't know about anybody else, but I'll spend the heck out of some 50-cent pieces.
Yeah.
I always like looking at kids' faces when they see them. They think they hit it rich.
I'll tell you, I check out the serial numbers on every single banknote that I get because I've had some success with it, and my LCS will pay me $5 or $10 over face value for even not great condition if it's a radar or a repeater or any of those fancy serial numbers.
Yeah, I got 2 of them that are really cool, where it's the same number forward backwards. I guess they call it a radar note.
Yep.
So it's like 1 2 3 4 4 3 2 1.
Sure.
And those are really cool. I mean, and some of them are of good value. But I like those things. They're fun to keep. But if I buy something like that, it's hard for me to look at it as spendable money. It's just it doesn't feel the same to me.
Yep.
It's because your collector bug in you is saying don't.
Yeah, that's pretty true. Yeah. Where if I was more of a stacker, I wouldn't be worried about it anyway, because that money would be earmarked for gold, silver, platinum.
Yeah, I would like to get more platinum as well. I just started getting a little bit.
I don't have any. I haven't. I mean, again, and I told Hoosier this. I have only been doing this for a total of 3 months. Now, I collected a little bit before. My granddad kind of got me into it. He collected a whole bunch of stuff, stamps, artwork, and everything else. And then I got married, had kids, and just never really even touched some of the stuff that I got. And so coming back into it, it was like, wow, there's a lot of cool stuff. And then for me, it was more about the stacking aspect as well, for saving. And then it was like, I really enjoy this. I'm really having a lot of fun. And then I started the YouTube thing because I wanted to connect it with a community, have more of a family involvement, if you will, as Hoosier stated the other night. But really getting with like-minded people and going, hey, what's strategy here? What are we doing? And what do you like? And where can I find stuff? And it's a lot of fun. I really enjoy it.
And look at this. Kid of mine actually goes out and he buys 100 $1 bills every week. So he's banknote hunting for serial numbers. I think that's really smart because so many more people are into the coin roll hunting. But some of those serial numbers can be worth a lot of money, especially if it's in really good condition.
Yeah, the problem that I had, so I'd done that a few times, but when the bank doesn't have like a loose stack of hundreds and they have to bring them in, it seems like I always get new bills.
That's better, isn't it?
Well, it's better if there's a good start to the number. If the number is 3528 and you get 200 to 201, there's not going to be any fancy serial numbers.
Nothing there. Yeah, gotcha.
So, I mean, very quickly your search is done. It's just like searching coin rolls and going out and buying a 500 box of halves and getting all 2022s. It ends your hunt. And I think that Silver Stacker just did a short about that exact thing. Like, this is why I stopped doing it, because he opened up 2 boxes and they were all 2022. And it makes you go, well,
Yep.
what do you do? I mean, it does kind of do it. And I think this is my personal thing, is that if they are going to be doing this Coinstar that actually separates the silver out
That's-
of the people that are putting this in, because they already have some of them out there. If that becomes a true thing, then in the next 3 years, 3.5 years, we're not going to be finding silver in our change anymore.
It'll all be gone.
It's going to all be gone. And that's going to kind of be the end, to a degree. That'll kind of be the end of constitutional silver.
It's one more
So-
reason to hang on to it. A lot of it's been melted down, I think.
Yeah, there's a ton of stuff melted down. I had a good conversation with Miss Coin Crew and Coin Crew, and saying, because we were looking at numbers, and I was like, well, how do you estimate what's out there? And their comment was, you can't,
Yeah.
because there's been so many times, like when silver was at $37 or whatever it was in its peak 10 years ago. It was way more than the numismatic value, and they were melting it down like crazy to sell the bars, right? They were putting it in 10 ounce and kilo and everything else. And so you have no idea how many Morgans were melted, or peace dollars were melted, or how much constitutional was melted. You don't have a clue. So we really have no idea what mintages are out there. That's why it's so important to understand the numismatic value when you're stacking, because if you see a run of 300,000 coins and you're like, well, that's not a big deal, I'll go ahead and melt this one, there's not a mintage of 300,000 left. There's not, because some of them have been damaged, they've been melted, they've been destroyed. And so those really, really, really rare ones are even more so. The other thing, and I found this extremely fascinating. I want to do more research on this, because I had never thought about the fact that if you do something through PCGS, you have something slabbed, or NGC, or Annex, and they put that coin into their registry. And then you're like, that didn't grade high enough. And you open that slab and you send it to NGC, and they grade it at something higher. You have one coin that has 2 grades in 2 different entities. And PCGS may never know that coin is a new grade at a different facility.
Right.
So you technically could have 2, 3, 4 versions of the same coin. Now, granted, it's not going to happen in your really, really high grades, simply because of, they take really, really high resolution photos. And if they're going to be comparing it to another one, like you have a $3 gold princess that comes in at MS66, they're going to be looking at all the other images of that to see if they happen to have graded this coin before, right? Because they're going to be looking at other specimens to do that. But in outside of your really, really high items, there could be, there's a semi-key date. There could be a number of these out there that they're just not there. There's just no there's 3 or 4 of them. I said that wrong. There's 3 or 4 of them out there, but it's only the one coin. So the population is unofficially 4 higher than it should be.
Gotcha.
And so
That makes sense.
that's why, well, yeah, but unless you think about it, I never thought about it that way. So when I see a run of, 300,000 coins, there's nothing saying that that's actually 300,000 coins that are still available. You might have a lot less than that. So we really and truly don't know the rarity of these coins. So that's why when it comes to things like, making rings and stuff of that nature, if they're extremely common, I don't sweat it at all. It's not a big deal. If you want to do it, you can do it. But man, I see people making these rings out of these really rare ones, and everything in my body just goes, haha.
It shouldn't be done.
No. Right?
But I think if you recorded it while it was being made, like the before and the after, and you have that documented, that could still, I don't know, tell me if I'm wrong. It's just off the top of my head. It could still preserve some of it.
Well, but here's the thing. You would just have a collection of where it's at. It wouldn't have the numismatic value because you've destroyed the coin.
Yeah, so it's desecrated then.
You just know where it's at. You just know this ring is no longer on the list because it's now, or this coin is no longer on the list because now it's a ring.
Yeah. Right?
Or this ring is now a brooch, right? And people do that with buffalo nickels and things like that. But yeah, you really truly don't know the numbers that are in there, right? Now, don't get me wrong. For the people that they make rings and they do stuff out of coins, it's really cool. I'm actually sending an old Cole Morgan. You can see some of it to have a ring made here in the next week or so. So I mean, but it's cold. You can't see the date, but you can see some of the information in it. So I'm going to have a ring made out of it. You can still see Morgan. You still see the eagle and stuff on the back. But I'm not going to be doing that with $1893 gold coin. Dude, okay, you're coming up. Hold on just a minute.
Hi, Coin Junkie, and just stack it.
Just stack it's here. I'm going to have him come on up. Just
Hey, Frost and Jam, I'm going to go ahead and drop. I'm getting tired over here. Bingo.
Are you talking? Is that what it is?
No, bingo takes a lot of energy.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I'm sure it does.
Now, a lot of people that don't regularly do content creation, and especially live streams as hyperactive as bingo is, has no idea what it takes. It takes an army to run stuff.
No, so I got you.
I'm tired, so I want to go ahead and get out of here.
Yeah, and plus you
get some winks.
It was good to see you, Hoosier.
Yep, you too, JM. So Frost, you said Thursday?
Thursday at 2 p.m. Central, my interview with Hoosier Snacker will be coming out. So go check it out.
Hopefully,
make sure you share it in your community page too.
Hopefully the content, you didn't have to trim out a whole lot of stuff because that conversation was crazy.
Yeah, I'll do some of it. I'll do some editing. I'm going to be doing that tonight and tomorrow because I'm leaving. I'll be out of the country for.
I was going to say, when's your trip?
I leave Monday.
All right. All right, guys. Have a good night. We'll see you later.
All right. Take care. We'll see you.
Nice.
Yes, well.
Peace. Good guy.
Oh, yeah. Fantastic. And he's a hard worker, too. What he's doing with that silver stacker bingo would be very difficult. It takes a lot of skill, energy, and planning.
Oh man, I get clustered just trying to do one of those duck races.
So there you go.
I know. I mean, putting on a big production, you have to really have your stuff together and know what it is you're looking for, because it can get overwhelming real quick.
Yeah. And beyond that, he's, doing a really good job at building a very positive environment, wholesome environment for stackers to congregate, share knowledge, and have fun together. So mad respect for him.
Yeah. Hoosier's a great guy. We were talking about community, and he was the one that said, community isn't necessarily the best word for what we have in this environment. It's more family than it is community. And I wholeheartedly agree. And it's people like that who do those kind of things that really engage and get people on board. And that's when you can laugh and joke and get people to open up and loosen up. And you get to really find out a lot about people in those types of environments. So huge kudos to him for doing that stuff, because Hoosier's good people.
Indeed.
So what else you got going on? You going to go pop into anybody else's stream this evening?
Well, that's a good question. I don't advocate people drinking heavily, but I'm getting close to the end of this beverage, and I'm just kind of on the fence. I'm looking at the clock, the hours striking. I'm like, should I go flake out, or should I stay up another hour? So I'm kind of on the fence.
Yeah, it's kind of getting to, it's close to the witching hour for me. So I'll probably do this here for another few minutes and chit chat with anybody. I don't know if anybody else wants to come out and visit. I sent the link to Just Stack It, but I'm not sure what he's doing.
Okay.
He may be still trying to work his office.
Yeah.
So I found a penny in one roll, and I found a dime in this one.
Yeah, I was wondering what the total sum result, what you found so far is.
So the only thing that I found two noteworthy coins, and that was a 51S, which is a semi-key date. Or no, I take that back. It's a key date. And then I found a 53S, which is a semi-key date. Other than that, I really haven't found anything. I've gone through about 10 rolls. So I found 2, 3, 4, 5. Only 6 coins that are below 1970. So I'm not expecting to find much in this roll. They all tend to be 2006 and up.
Okay.
So,
well, at least you didn't get skunked.
No, and I did an entire box of pennies a couple weeks ago and didn't find. I think I found something like 50 copper coins in the entire box.
Yep.
Yeah, it was horrible. And then stopped by the bank to pay a loan, and I was like, "You got any rolls back there? Just open one." She's like, "I have one that's here." And I picked up. It was just a penny roll. She really didn't have anything else. And I found an Indian and 7 wheat cents in it.
Nice.
So
that's very good.
I was like, "Hey, yeah, that makes up for it."
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, you won't get that on every roll. That's
No.
Yeah.
I actually have. I thought about doing that tonight, but I really don't feel like going through a whole bunch of Indian cents. I picked up a small bag of Indians, and I picked up a small bag of wheats in one of the auctions over at Big Flips.
Nice.
And so I want to go through those, but I'm going to wait and hold off on that until I get back from my vacation, when I can actually sit down and focus on it. And that one's bit through the ringer. When I can really focus on it and not just kind of be doing mind-numbing searching.
Yep, good call.
With the older ones, you have so many varieties that you have to pay attention to. So
You'd have to be in the mood for it. The time's got to be right.
yeah, exactly. And if you're not in the right mindset for it, you're just not gonna find much.
Well, I wanted to thank you again for having me up here. It's been good to meet with you and chat with you. I've only seen you in the chat side before, so
Well, Jam, I really appreciate you coming up. It's been good to get to know you, to chat with you for a little bit. Best of luck in your channel, and keep it up.
sounds good. Thank you very much, and I'm going to wish everyone in the chat side a fantastic night as well, and a great balance to the weekend.
Thanks, Jam. Have a good one.
You too.
Take care. Mountain Stacking. Hey, thanks for coming up. So he says, I'm a new stacker. Don't know how to bid, but I'm here to give a thumbs up and shout out. Yeah, I'm not doing an auction. I just said that I purchased some stuff. I don't do auctions on this channel. Well, it's still really new, so I don't know if I'll ever do it, but I may at one time. But normally I don't do auctions here. This is more of a chat, role search, visit with people, get to know community, share basic knowledge and wisdom, tell stupid dad jokes. That's kind of what I'm here. So tell me, type up some information. Tell me a little bit about your stacking journey and what is it that you're interested in? What is it that got you into stacking? And just stack it. You free to come on up. I put the link up there in the chat, and you're more than welcome to click on and come on in. Hey, David Carlisle's here. How you doing, sir? Thank you for coming in. I appreciate you being here. Stop in, show the channel some love. I definitely appreciate that. Perry said he found a really neat penny. So share the details, Perry. Tell us what you found. So, Matt, I did go back and look at Speak of the Devil. Dun, 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 dun.
Hey, boss.
And with the plan.
Oh, no, there's no plan. My dog's being affectionate for some reason.
You need to pee.
How's your day going?
Did you spill bacon juice on your leg?
No, I wish. She probably just needs to go outside. She's been going in and out for like the last 3 hours. Go lay down. Go. She doesn't listen. Go. So, how's your day going?
Good. It's been pretty quiet. I got a call from my bank, and they said, "Hey, your coin order finally arrived." So I went down and picked up the roll of nickels, and I had ordered a roll of, or not a roll, but a box of pennies. And she goes, "We're really sorry it took so long." And I was like, "Well, you can make it up to me." And she says, "I can let you buy 2 more boxes of pennies." And I was like, "All right." So I got 3 boxes of pennies.
Oh, that's cool. I was going through my coins, and I just recently realized the Alaska quarter has there's sometimes die chips on, I guess, like the bear's claws on the back. And so I was looking for those, and I found this one, but I can't. It seems to me like it would be something that I would hear about, you would see, people would talk about, because it's essentially, are you familiar with the Wounded Eagle Sacagawea?
Oh, yes.
Where it's like a line on the eagle and it looks like it's been shot with an arrow.
Mm-hmm.
This is the same kind of thing, except it goes from around the salmon's mouth area through the bear's fur, and you can actually see it, like what looks like to where it's like embedded into the fur, like it goes around the fur, if that makes sense. So I could switch cam here and show you. Wait a minute. Not stop cam. Settings. There we go. Digital microscope. Okay, so it's right there. You see it?
I do. It looks like the bear spearfishing.
Well, the way what I'm calling it, because I can't find a name right now, I'm making it the statement that it looks like fishing line, like he poached the salmon from a fisherman, maybe. And so if you look right there where it starts to go through the fur, you can see it's not on top of the fur. It's actually like into the fur. So my problem is so far I can't find anything anywhere about this error.
So what you want to do is submit it to Wexler.
Like, do you submit pictures, or do you?
Take some really good quality pictures, and I mean they need to be really good quality. You need to take pictures of your entire coin. So here, let me go up. So I'll show you kind of what you want to do. So go to Wexler's page, and what you're going to want to do is, hold on just a second. Let me find. So you're going to want to take a picture like this, right? So you can see the whole coin, and you're going to want to take the back, and you're going to want to make sure it's a really high, clean, solid image, right? You can see when you look at that, you can see the fields, you can see all the information. So what they'll do is they'll look at it. Then what you want to do is you're going to want to come down. And I apologize, everybody's having to watch this up and down crap. But you're going to want to take at about this level, and you're going to want to take really good pictures of the quarters. So here,
like four quarters of the coin. Yeah.
Front and back. So what that's going to do is, so for instance, let's look at. Well, let me find a really good coin. Hold on. Let me find a one that's pretty pristine. Sorry for all the noise. Apologize. So here's one. Okay, so we have this one. So when you're looking at this, let's say that this is this one right here, that little mark right there.
Yeah.
Let's say that's a standard die chip or a standard die crack or something. And so then you come over here and you look at it, and you may find, let's see, let's find a good example of right here. Okay, just to the edge of the building. So then they'll take that and they'll look at it, and then they'll look at some of these other ones, and they'll go back and they'll be like, so there's definitely some markers, right? And if they've never had that coin before, so you may see a spot. There's a little scratch right here. You'll see it, but there's that little mark. If I move it, you can kind of see that there.
Yeah.
So you take really good quality photos of all four of those quadrants, and then one zoomed out, one zoomed in. And then what they'll do is they'll look for like typical die scratches or things that are markers for the coin. And then what they'll do is they'll hold on to it. And if they start to see this one, then what they'll do is they'll actually attribute finding that error to you.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That would be cool.
So take really good. That's one reason that people are so adamant about finding the 2023s early, right? Finding those coins early, because
you get your name put on it.
Yeah.
What happened? What happened? Am I still live? Hold on. What happened?
That was really weird.
I was just, I was sitting here looking at the actual stream going, am I still on here?
Yeah, that was really weird. I went to change cameras and I was like, where'd my StreamYard go?
Yeah, so I mean, it's got one of the telltale, a couple of these little dye chips on the claws. You can see it there,
Yep.
where it's bleeding into the other claw. So that's kind of what I was looking for, and I got a stack of those, but none of them that I've seen so far have anything like this line, and I don't even know what that. I have no idea, but I can't. I couldn't find anything on Wexler about it. So yeah, I guess I'll have to do that. Submit some photos and
Yeah,
see
so
it.
submit the photos, let them know where you found it. And then they'll come back and they may have something that they're sitting on, just waiting to find additional ones.
Right, maybe somebody else has already submitted.
Yeah, but you'll find out really soon. But I would suggest doing it because you may have found something if nobody else has found it. Because I haven't heard anything about it, but that doesn't mean anything.
Right.
There's so much stuff that I haven't heard about that it's not even funny. Fish kebab. Keep in mind, that's right. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's really cool, and I found a bunch of the different errors, and I even have a bunch of fillies, and none of them have that. So I thought it was weird, and then of course knowing the wounded eagle, that that's what I attribute it to because it's the same kind of error where it's a straight line. Because of that, and like the what is the other one? The speared bison on the 2005. So knowing those can be some valuable coins. So I was like, okay, I think I have something, but again, no internet searches come up with anything. I was looking over everything. I didn't see anything on Wexler, and that's where I was like kind of second guessing myself a bit. I mean, I see it's something. It's obviously raised and not a gouge on the coin, but that's where I was. Could I really be one of the first people to find this? I mean, it's a 2008. You figure coin hunters would have found this by now, I would think.
Yeah, but remember that, people didn't find that 1958 double die, and it's what, 80 years old?
Oh, really? Did one just get found?
The 1958, that one that just sold in auction that somebody found.
Oh, I don't know. I haven't been
No.
following.
Yeah, that's so yeah, they're finding stuff all the time. And the thing is that you don't know, there's 100 million of these things floating around. And
True.
if there's only, 50 of them, you know what I mean? So it may be years before somebody stumbles upon it, or somebody has them and they think it's already attributed. They just couldn't find anything on it. They stuck it into their stash and, left it alone. What you could do is you could go to, and if you haven't found anything on Wexler's, then the only thing I would do is have somebody check. Does anybody in chat have a, what's the coin Bible?
I have an error book.
Does anybody have a gray sheet?
Oh no, gray sheet. I didn't see anything on PCGS either. I have
Well, that just means it hasn't been graded.
Come to think about that, I have an error book from 2023. I didn't even think to pull this out. I'm done.
Yeah, I would definitely be checking those. But if you don't find anything, then man, definitely throw that up to Wexler and have them look at it. Take some really good, high quality images. That's going to be your friend. And the more the merrier, right? Change your aperture settings a couple times and just take a few of them. And
I might just actually take them with that microscope. What I say this is Alaska 2008.
Oh, and by the way, that
I don't see anything in here.
Yeah. So I would take some really good quality pictures and send that up.
Wait,
To,
no, Arizona, Oklahoma.
yeah. So I heard the same thing, R3D. I don't know what's going to happen because, yeah, he said that there was talk about it. We were on Copper Coins channel, and they were talking about that. Chuck Dartrey was talking about that, and so that's a major icon. I'm not sure what's going to happen or who they're going to turn it over to. If I'm not sure what's going to happen, so I've got my ear to the road to wait and see if I can hear anything on that. Chuck Daughtry's a really good one to go to. If you guys don't follow that, that's a fun channel. He's wrote tons of books on things like RPMs and things of that nature and copper cents, and he is a great resource of information. I really like that channel.
So wait, Wexler's just a guy?
Yeah.
Oh, obviously.
Well, I want to correct your phrase there. He's not just a guy.
Well, yeah, right. Yeah, I mean, he's a one-man band. It's not like a company.
Wexler's already retired, David said. I didn't think he was. I thought he was still doing it.
It sounds like there's a spot to fill somewhere.
Yeah. So, David, do you know anything about what's going on with that? Have you heard anything? I haven't heard anything about it. Other than the information that I just stated. I like that site though. That's a great site. I'm actually having it right now to look at nickel. So I'm looking at my key common errors.
Okay.
So because your 2011 information, yeah, I got. He's not accepting any more attributions. Interesting. So who do they send attributions for errors to? Do you have any idea? Hey, David, are you available to come up? You can come up and chat about it if you'd like. Because this is, yeah, don't send them to him. He won't do it. Okay.
Koneka?
I don't know who that is.
I don't either, but a quick web search will figure it out. I've heard it. I've heard the name.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with it at all.
Is a national numismatic organization devoted to the education of error and variety collectors. Okay, let me see if they have anything on it. Maybe I'll fix my problem. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, so how do you? Is there? Okay, I get it. Awards. Oh.
And for everybody that's in, if you haven't already done so, if you'll please do me a favor and smash that like button, I would appreciate the thumbs up on there.
Okay.
Did I tell you the one about the two goldfish that were sitting in a tank?
No.
One looks at the other one and goes, "Hey, you know how to drive this thing?" I wish Nick was still up here. He's got a ton of dad jokes too.
Okay, I see him talking about awards and things, and there is a bunch on. It seems like there's some stuff on here, but I don't.
Hey, John Howe. So here's a good guy who may know some information. Hey, John, you have any insight as to Kaneka? I know that David just talked about it. David and John, I'm throwing the link in there. If you guys want to come up on the panel, please click on that link and come on up.
Oh, here we go. I think I found it. Maybe. Error and Variety Index.
Taco John, Variety Vista. Okay, who's Variety Vista? Actually, I've heard Variety Vista.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
make,
they're
they do
good.
attributions.
I don't know. I know people submit photos and things, but past that, I'm unaware. I found a listing on here for like RPMs and double dies, but it's not conclusive. What would you call that? A die crack?
I would say, yeah, I would say it was a die crack.
Yeah, I'm not.
Yeah.
Their Konica. It may be great. Maybe I just don't know how to navigate the site. But
Well, it's not a. It could be a die scratch. I don't think it is. So pull that pull that image back up, and I'll tell you why I don't think it's a scratch. Um, and it's because of the way it flows through the fur.
sure, yeah,
So I think it would be more of a crack. So if it were a scratch, you see how it kind of flows in, and it kind of whoops.
I'm getting closer.
There you go. So you can see, take it up a little bit, bring the coin down in your case. Yeah, so try to center the image a little more if you could. There you go. So if you look at kind of where that, well, now I got a little fuzzy again.
Yeah, I'm trying.
There you go. If you look at kind of where that's at, well, you know what? It could be a die scratch.
Well, but it looks
Oh,
like it goes. It doesn't go on top of the fur. That's what's weird. It looks like it was a die scratch, and if it was, they carved through it. Like with the fur. You know what I mean? Because it literally looks like it's hard to tell with the lighting here, but it literally goes through the fur there without being on top of it. That's what struck me as okay, this is not just a normal extra line. This is something. But again, I would have expected, with it being this dramatic, I would have expected somebody else to know something about it by now. I mean, that's what.
because it continues kind of into the fur
Mm-hmm.
for quite a little ways. So I would think it would be more of a die crack. Got you, David. No problem. We'll have
John
to find
Powell
it.
says it looks like a die clash, does not look like damage, right?
It could be. So kind of pull that off, mark it with your finger and see what's on the other side. See what's on the averse.
It's all the hair on Washington. There's not a straight line in it. So if I had to, let me refocus here. If I had to say an area, it's probably somewhere there in the center,
All right.
right, of all this hair. If I had to,
I was trying to say, so it might be right. It could be a die clash. It's definitely, I was on looking because there's no way it could be a strike through either. It's just, it's too raised.
right? There's a little better lighting on it there, right there. You can see it go through the fur. It goes, here's an ink pen. It goes all the way up into like right somewhere in there is where it really ends. But it goes through that fur without being on top of it. That's the interesting part about it.
Yeah. So John's got a really good point. Does it have a weak spot on the opposite side? So do you see anywhere where it looks like there's some, that clash would be on.
I mean, it'd be inside this hair, like literally right in here.
Yeah, but see, if you look, no, stop right there. Okay. So you see the back of his hair, you see that line that goes through?
What do you mean back here?
Yeah. So see where the hair comes down and it
Oh,
bulges.
where the bottom fluff meets the top of
Yeah.
the.
If you
Okay.
look at it, there's a line that goes right through there that's actually weak. Go up. Yeah. So see where the back of his hair kind of turns out into that outer part. And if you take that line and go straight across, it looks like there's a weak spot through there.
Right there.
Yeah, take your pen.
You're talking like right in here, right?
No.
Where the
No. So the line is running parallel to the bottom of the screen. So you see the back, see where the outline of the back of his hair is. Yeah. Now go to the right. Follow the pen all the way to the right.
there?
That line right there. You can see that line from the edge all the way in.
Yeah.
North Shore 85. Thanks for coming up. Appreciate you coming in. We're just looking at an item that Just Stackett found in a Alaskan quarter, and we're trying to figure out what the best item for that would be. I'm thinking John Howe might be right with a die clash, because if you look at that area, it affects the hairline and everything else in that realm. You see what I'm referring to?
Yeah.
So I think John's right. I think it is a die clash. And if that's the case, then it's going to be on others.
Actually, I'm trying to see if I can. Oh, you know what? So, where was that? I wonder if it could be one of these. Yeah, a clash on one of the hairlines. When I was just the lights up too much on this. So, it could be maybe right in there. I mean, it'd be weird to see how it would. I don't know a lot about die clashes and how they come through, but something in like that area maybe is where I think we're directly over, and that's where the line is on the back. So maybe it was just some kind of clash, and some detail in here just kind of forced it to punch. Huh.
Yeah, John, he found it in a coin roll hunt.
All right. I will get off of that soapbox for now.
No, that's cool. I enjoy looking at that kind of stuff.
No, yeah. I mean, anytime you actually find something weird in coins, right? I mean, that's kind of why we do it. So I have a whole stack of odd stuff I'm trying to see. And nothing as cool as that, maybe. But, a whole bunch of weird stuff that I will dig through later at some point in time, right?
Yeah, and I think that I don't think that's it. That's definitely not damage.
Yeah, no, it's too
definitely not
specific to be
damage.
damage.
There's definitely something wrong with that. So I went through those. I'm going to switch over to do some pennies. The only things I found was a 51S and a 53S. So a key date and a semi-key date.
Okay.
But nothing really of noteworthy value. So that nickel search was kind of a flop.
Nickels can be. I think I went through a box the other night and I got a couple of, I think maybe one book fill due to an error. Somehow I had put the wrong mint in the wrong hole. and then I got a couple of upgrades. But other than that, I don't think I really found any. Maybe one or two other
Yeah.
fills, but
So
it's
kin of
been
mine
kind of
says,
slim.
keep that coin, and I'm going to tell kin of mine that he's just going to send it to me. He's like, no, I'm not. No. Yeah, I would look into that Kaneka or whatever that is and check, because if you can't find anything on it, I would definitely send it off to get some attribution done on it. That is a really pretty 63. It's got fingerprints on it, but
Yeah, don't you hate that? Like the fingerprints?
yeah,
It
and this
starts to bother me. I find some really nice coins with just like a quarter of a fingerprint that's probably been on there since the 70s or something. And I'm just like, ah.
yeah, so this doesn't show copper very well. And you can see a little bit, but I mean, it's actually a very bright coin. It doesn't look like it on this, but it's actually,
Yeah, I'm getting the gold tones come through. I get it. And the back, yeah, the back does a little better.
yeah. But I've got to figure out. I've messed with my camera. I've messed with stuff. I have such a hard time.
What brand of camera are you using?
It's a Tomoloff.
Okay. Yeah, so I got the pluggable and then I customized it. And I'm gonna redo it again here sometime soon. I'm happy with it. I just want to make it a little more permanent.
Yeah.
And improve some of the functionality at touch. I might actually put the magnet in like a track. That way it can't really go off to one side or the other too much. But it does pretty good. I will say, though, I don't know what software you're using to like interface, but pull up the actual camera settings. And if you can, the best one to do would be if any drivers or software came with the camera itself, pull those up and you can go in there and kind of adjust the master settings for the camera, like the brightness, the contrast, some of those things. I had to adjust mine a bit. I wasn't worried about the color as much, but just the lights, either like you kind of saw there, it's either really intense or not enough. Like there's not a good middle area. So I had to play with it a bit to get it kind of functional. When I first set it up, it was almost useless because it was too bright all the time.
Yeah, this one's really weird. So like if I get a dollar penny, right, I get really decent color in it.
So wait, what just happened there? You had your hand in front of it. To the right?
An incandescent light.
Oh yeah, that's showing the color better than whatever's going on with the
I take
camera.
the incandescent light out and it's just the LEDs. It's
Yeah.
flat. But if I bring the incandescent light in, you actually see the color of the penny.
Right.
So if it's a dollar penny, it's fine. Not a big deal. It's good. But if I take a new shiny one, you can see it instantaneously turns it to a kind of a flat metallic. It doesn't keep that color.
Yeah, it almost looks like a steel set.
Yeah, and I don't know why that is.
It's trying to adjust the white balance. You can try to lock it in those settings. You should be able to. There's probably something where it's trying to auto adjust the white balance. So then when it's getting a lot of reflection back, it's telling the camera you're too bright. So then it dials down. It's trying to do something like that, I suspect.
Yeah, now I've gone through and looked at see now if I do it this way, you can see where you can see a little bit of copper color, and it holds the copper color if it's the brown. So if it's a red brown, see, it shows the copper color fairly decently. But if it's all copper, or it's a shiny penny, so like here's a really bright 20, you can see it instantaneously turns into mush. So I don't know why it does that. It drives me insane. because I tried to take good pictures, and it's like, oh my god, these things look horrible.
No, that makes sense because I'm on that coin roll hunting group, and occasionally, people are on there talking about errors and things, and I'll see some of these pictures that people post, and I'm like, what kind of camera do they have? Because everything looks flat like that. And now it makes more sense why I'm seeing those kind of pictures, because that's what some of these cameras do.
Yeah, and filter for ambient light. I have a lot of photographic filters. I could actually try and use one. Actually, I never thought about doing that because I could actually. This is a 35 millimeter.
Ooh, you know what would be cool to try? Like a polarized lens.
Yeah,
Cover.
I think
I bet
I
that
do
would
have
do
a
it.
polarizer. I actually want to see. I want to see if I can find one, because I have a 35. It's a 35. It's a 30 millimeter. Um, it's. Let me see if I can bring this up.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, I've seen
So
it.
I have the 30 millimeter UV on it, right, which helps some of the light when it comes back up. But I'd like to find one of these that have the polarizer, because the polarizer it's dirty.
I
The
think
polarizer
I think I have one. I'm trying to remember where it would be at.
because
I
I
got-
have a polarizer for my SLR, but the problem with my SLR is it's older, so I
Mhm.
don't have that video mode, so I can't just connect it. And
Let me see if I can go find mine real quick.
yeah,
I'll be right back.
oh, what was this? 1985 Netherlands. Oh, that was cool. If you put the coin on something and turn the cloth, let me see. Let me see if I can find something. So if I do, because see, that's a white piece of paper. So I think what he was saying about white balance, because it's artificially, because this is a white piece of paper. So if I put the white there, it automatically filters it to be that metallic flat color, which telling me that it definitely has to do with white balance. So, and if I put, so see how it's turning. Well, but this is where, so you're definitely right with the white balance. So if you look at this, the white balance is turning the paper blue because of the copper color. So if you, is that a UV?
Yeah, this is just UV.
UV isn't going to do anything for
Yeah.
you. The polarizer, where you would be able to tell the polarizer is if you look at the images in the back. So you have the reflective light on the one over your left shoulder.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so you would see the reflective light coming on that. And then the one that's on your right shoulder, the really bright line that's there next to your head, if you were to put that on there, then you would see that reflection knocked down. But in this case, this is a white piece of paper. And this white piece of paper looks gray. But when I put the bright copper coin, you can see that it turns the paper blue.
Oh,
So
yeah.
it's definitely white balance. So I need to figure out how to set and lock the white balance.
Now you're making me want to see if I can find a polarizer for this lens. Because that would all the reflection of the lights. Because like I have all my lights off right now, but like here's one. One of my, we'll call it a desk light. If I put that up, my head's blocking it now. But yeah, you see, I start getting all this light pollution all over these frames. If I can get that, I didn't even think of getting a polarizer. That'll help a lot.
Yeah, I think the polarizer would help a ton. So I need to figure out how to get in and adjust the white balance for this.
When you're not using it on stream, um, you might be able to do it by just pulling up the camera application and then selecting that camera and then playing with those settings. But if you can't find it there, see if you can like actually open up the camera on your computer and see if because like I know mine does it looks like a Windows 95 interface. It's like whatever was tucked into the drivers, and that's where you'll have all the functionality available to adjust the camera itself.
Yeah, I'll have to look and see. There's a thing in Coin Community where he's talking about his white balance and stuff, and I'll look and see if I can find something about this setup.
Oh, fun fact. I did a box of quarters off stream. Obviously, that's where I found that Alaska. But I finally found my Yosemite National Parks quarter. So I have to go through the rest of my stuff and find a 2019 W that I want to part with. But I also found a 2021 of them, probably like tall grass or something. W Privy or V75 Privy W. And so the book had those two spots. If you were on the live stream, remember me talking about it. I determined I was going to put a V75W and a 2019 W in those two spots, since they technically run in that run on the time frame to kind of fill out that book. So I've actually completed the book. I still got to get the 2019 and put it in, but my National Parks quarter book is going to be filled now. So I can move on to something else. I've been collecting a lot of the state, like the AU, BUs that I'm finding in rolls, and I have a ton of those put up. So I may start that next and run a state collection of the best possible ones that I can find just to make it harder and do that.
Yeah, I got all my state quarters, with the exception of one, are all really, really, really nice. I did buy about a month ago my Delaware, because the coin set that I had, it kept falling out, and my ex-wife taped it in. I hadn't looked at it for 15, probably 17 years.
Oh,
And so I opened the book and I was like, oh, there's tape over the Delaware. And so I went to pull it off because it had kind of that little green PVC stuff on it.
mm-hmm.
And part of the coin was really dark and the other part was really bright. So I was like, I can't have that in my book. So
Yeah, no.
I
You know what?
look, but you know how hard it is to find a 1999 in good shape?
I have some. Which one?
It was the Delaware.
Delaware. Oh, I'm almost certain I got that. Do you need like one mint or both mints or what?
No, I just told you. I just bought one.
Oh, you just bought one. Okay.
Because I was like, I can't have that one. All the other ones are like pristine, and then there's this one coin.
Yeah, I mean, that's the only thing I can think of with some of these AU, possibly BU, that I find in rolls is collection dumps. That's, somebody got somebody's coins. They found out that they weren't really worth anything major and then just cashed them in for face value. So, I mean, it's kind of sad, but it's kind of nice to find them and then pick them back out of circulation. Well,
Yeah,
they still look nice.
Yeah, I haven't been finding anything lately, and it's a little disheartening.
Well, and I found what was I worried about? Oh, $50. So I'm waiting on boxes, right, from the bank that's always been super abrasive, but they started getting better, and now I'm testing their ordering capabilities. But I got 2 boxes of halves coming. But as I was looking around on coin roll hunting, apparently what I'm being told is the mints or somebody like got are basically are like releasing a lot of like back stock. So people are getting like brand new boxes of, you know, halves that are years old. Like they're releasing all the stock from, I guess, the depositories or whatever. And so somebody had posted, yeah, they had like, I want to say like 2019 or like 2020, like a whole box of brand new halves. And they were kind of questioning what they should do with it. But that's, and then other people were chiming in saying they were seeing the same thing. And so that's where I was like, oh man, that'd be a bad time to get new boxes and them just be brand new. It's not what I'm wanting, but I'm hopeful that that won't happen. But I haven't found any silver since I think the dimes that I did last, which is funny because, well, no, not the dimes, the nickels. I did a box of nickels. I found war nickels in them. Oh, wait, was that a box or was that? No, I think that was just like assorted from the bank. But
Yeah, I think that's when you got like 3 or 4 rolls of each.
yeah, well, it might have been like a tray or two, something like that. But yeah, maybe it wasn't a full box, but I did find silver in there. But I think that's the last silver that I found. It's been a couple of weeks at minimum.
I haven't found anything. I found a lot more. Oh, I was just about to say this. I found a lot more Canadian,
Mm.
and I just opened up my thing, and what do I find? I find a Canadian. I have found, and it's actually really shiny.
So you keep your Canadians, right?
I do.
So did you see my short on the 1962 harp scent? Okay. So if you didn't, you can look it up. But on throw that back up there from the bottom of the one to the maple leaf on the back. On the harp scent, the 1962, it looks like strings from the bottom of the one all the way to the leaf. And there's like, it varies, but there's like 4 to 5 of them just straight down from that. And that's why they call it the harp scent, because it looks like harp strings. But yeah, apparently that's a somewhat well-known error on the
What
Canadian.
year is that?
1962s.
Okay.
So when you get time, you can look through your stuff and see if you have them. I don't get a lot of 62s myself, but I did stumble across that one day in a coin shop.
Yeah, I like I said, I just haven't been finding much anything. Hey, I got to go help my son. He can't get the garage closed. There's something that junked it up. Give me just a sec. I'll be right back.
All right. I will try to keep everybody entertained. Yeah, Junkie, I figured, would know about the heart penny. I didn't know. And actually, the guy that sold it to me didn't even know. He had to look it up to determine a price on it because it didn't have a price, and it was in that little holder that I show on my short. And that's what I was asking him. I was like, well, okay, I mean, I see it says harp scent, but yeah, I didn't notice like the little cutout that they had printed on it. I didn't look that much, but I was like, what is this thing and how much do you want for it? And he gave, I forget what I paid. It was like think like $3 or $4 or something for that set, which is kind of cool because it came with like the cardboard insert and whatnot. And it does look like it's been relatively well taken care of. It's probably been in there for quite some time. So I'm okay with that on that purchase. But yeah, it's been kind of rough lately as far as coin roll hunting. I found a foreign or two, I think a Canadian quarter. I haven't been finding foreigns like I usually do. It's just been a little on the dry side, but that could be because, just people aren't cashing in the way that they normally do.
I'm back.
We'll see if it picks up in the next coming months. I would expect it to.
Yeah, I was trying to find. It was broom handle got wedged, so I had to just go pop it out real quick. That was the other one that I found earlier, 1960.
Nice.
Nothing major, but yeah, I'm kind of disheartened. I haven't been finding anything.
Yeah, I was just saying it's been a little dry over here as well. Buffalo nickels. I haven't seen one of those in months. Yeah, it's just, I don't know. Maybe people aren't cashing in coins the way that they have been historically. And I know tax time's coming and things, so people aren't going to be as hard up for money. So you won't see as many dumps into circulation.
Yeah, but the thing is, and this is where I was talking earlier, and I think this was just before you came into the stream. One of the issues that I think we're facing, not only with finding silver and stuff in the change, is the new coin stars are filtering out silver. And
are you sure?
There's some of them that are already there that are weighing the coin that will actually it's actually able to pull the silver out of the mix.
Huh.
It detects it. Now I know there's a few of them out there. I'll see if I can find
Time to go to Google.
yeah.
Because mine, I want to say, is a newer machine at my grocery store that I go to. And I just went there. I didn't find any silver in the reject tray, but I didn't put any silver in there either. I'm not that dumb. But I could go test it with like a dime. Well, yeah, a dime, I guess, would be. Ooh. So I went to a museum with the kids today. They have a penny stretcher. Now, again, it's themed for the museum, right? Which is the sad part. But Silver Dragons, if you watch him, because you get to put in your own penny, right? So he puts in 10th ounce silver rounds and then stretches them in these penny stretchers and then gets the thing back, but it's, silver. So I think next time I take the kids up there, I'm going to run up there with a couple 10th ounce silver, or maybe even gold. That'd be cool. Kind of destroy the value, but and then well, I don't know if gold wouldn't be the same size, I guess.
You know what I would be afraid of?
What?
That thing coming off the track and falling in there.
Yeah, because at a 10th ounce, you're talking about what? At least like 10 or $15, give or take. Not cheap.
Well, but if you're talking gold, it's a lot more than that.
Yeah, so I want to see if I can find one. I've been scouring, Facebook Marketplace and different places to see if I could find one, because then if I do, there are machine shops, then I could get the dies made up and whatever I wanted and just crank them out. Little just stack it stretched, coins, so to speak, but made out of silver. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, I think what I'm going to do, I'm trying to do this for the coin show. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it or not, is to buy some blank 1 ounce silver bars. And, oh man, that's a pretty one. I don't know if you're going to be able to see this, but this is a gorgeous coin.
Okay, so I'm telling you, oh, wait, are you showing me something? Let me get over here.
Hold on.
What are you showing me?
You cannot see how shiny that freaking 68 penny is.
I mean, I get the idea. The blue's kind of filling in on it, but I get the.
If I can.
Oh yeah. Woo.
Yeah, but again, as soon as that white balance hit, it really. Yeah, that is a gorgeous.
What color is your base right there? Is it black?
It's black.
Oh man, it's doing you a heck of a disservice then.
Yeah.
Well, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, so I looked this up, and this may not be the most up-to-date information, but it does say, well, from what I'm looking at, obviously it can't take Ikes or Morgans or things because they're too big. So it only goes up to $50. But it says it will reject just steel pennies, pure silver, commemorative or foreign coinage. They may not be recognized by the kiosk and will be returned. And that comes directly from their website. At least, again, what I'm seeing in front of me at the moment.
Yeah, it's not means you can't do it. Because if it's going to reject the silver, you won't be able to get that in there.
Oh, no. I'm talking about the Coinstars. But that'd be interesting to see.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And I'm trying to remember, I think it was Silver Seeker that was talking about it and saying that there's actually some of them that are already able to do that. They've been working on getting that done.
I mean, the easy way to do it would just be to give you credit for the coin if it thinks it's the right size and then filter it out later. Because honestly, I mean, on the foreign coinage, you might lose some, but I have a good feeling that would work out in their favor. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. I fully understand.
And that was the thing, because they've been in business for what? At least 10 or 15 years now.
Yeah, they've been in business a while.
So, how was that not your business is coins, or at least that's what you're trying to make it. I get that. How was that not in the launch meeting? There was one guy hey, by the way, some of these coins are worth way more than face value. Shouldn't we keep these in a separate bin? Why would you just reject silver coins? That seems like such a bad move. You know how much silver people have probably tried to put into Coinstars nationwide? Probably talking upwards of $1 million by this point, if not more.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, but I'm sure it has to do with the mechanism of capturing the coin. There may be something in it that
I think it's the weight. The size is right, but the weight's off.
maybe
Their machine's not smart enough to go. It's the same size as a dime, but it weighs different. Because what they're trying to avoid is somebody dumping a bunch of washers or something in there and getting credit for quarters, right? Or something like that. That's what they're trying to avoid. I get that, but yeah,
Well, even then, I mean, if you bank with that institution, they're gonna know it's you because that coin's
well,
registered.
up here, they're in grocery stores. They're not in banks. It's completely anonymous unless you put in your email. Like mine, it's at the corner of a grocery store, like up by the front, but still, there's no verification. You dump your stuff in, it prints out a little piece of paper, and you can use that to make a purchase or go up to the service desk and get your cash. So nobody's there to check, and they would have no idea unless there's like a camera I don't know about on the machine taking photos of you. But then how do they prove that's you versus the last 50 people that were there? So yeah, ours are just in grocery stores. Banks don't have that stuff here in Ohio.
Oh, so all of my stuff happens at the bank. So
Oh no, man, because ours, I got desperate. I had 2 boxes of pennies and nickels and a bunch
same
of
here, North
quarters.
Shore. It's just the opposite here. Everything's in banks.
Yeah, so I got lazy and I didn't want to roll up all the pennies, the clad. So I was just like, 11 cents on the dollar, whatever. I'm just going to go cash it in. I'll buy groceries with it. And I took it to the Coinstar for the first time in I can't remember how long. And yeah, ours are just in grocery stores. That's it. You can't find them. I can't think of anywhere else where you can go find one that's not in a grocery store.
So we can find the only one that's not. I can find them in our grocery store, but the only way to do it is you either pay the enormous fee,
Yeah.
or you have to put it on like a Starbucks gift card.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there probably was an option for something like that. I know you can donate it. You can do all kinds of they opened it up a bit, but yeah. In that
Yeah, I'm
case,
like,
I didn't care.
I-
They only got for me. Mine was just under $200 or something. So I'm sure they got that's a chunk of change.
Yeah, I won't pay that. There's no way.
Times 0.113. Yeah, they got like $20 off me.
Yeah, I'll take
For
it
the
to the bank and
convenience.
then deposit my money and then deal with it that way. I will not.
Well, we have to roll ours. We can't take it to the bank, and that's probably why they do so well out here, because the banks don't have the machines. If the bank had the machines, nobody would go to the ones at the grocery store.
Well, if you can see, the toning on this coin is amazing.
Oh yeah, it's like almost rainbow, or at least it will be shortly.
It's gorgeous looking.
What year is it?
2014, and the whole penny is just a gorgeous color.
Now you know what everyone's telling me on those, right? Hand
I don't know.
hand sanitizer. That's what I'm hearing because I have it's like something, and it's got like a lot of that nice rainbow kind of toning.
And
I don't know that that's the case, but that's what I'm hearing. Like where people were like literally soaking change and hand sanitizer and stuff to try to disinfect it. I even think I heard Big Flip on his stream saying something about putting $50 in the oven or something before he searched. I want to say, I'm not quoting, I think that's what he said, to like heat them up to disinfect them before he went through them. Because anyone that's looked through coins, like any significant amount without gloves, your hands get black. Those things are very dirty.
oh yeah, yeah. They're horrible.
Yeah, it is pretty bad.
Yeah, that is for certain. And if you're doing it, like if you're going through those nickels, your fingertips will be black by the end.
quarters are bad for me because they're so big and I flip every one. So I get it all over my fingers where I'm holding it. And I also get this spot right here on the back of my thumb
Yeah.
from where I'm flipping them. And I guess they're rubbing. It's weird because you wouldn't think handling that much coin would turn your hands black, but it does. It's kind of gross, but I still, unless I'm handling something really nice, I don't really like the glove thing. So
Yeah, and you know what? It's funny when you see, I know why we were healthier as kids,
right.
because none of this stuff was actually ever really truly thought about.
Well, and that's the thing. That's like what they say now is what do they say? Your cell phone is dirtier than your toilet seat.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Like it's and you take this thing and put it up to your face, right? So yeah, I know every now and again I'll take which is crazy about these cases, right? Like this is an OtterBox, and it's like the 2-stage rubber plastic case. I can take this thing apart, and there is so much dirt and dust that gets inside of it. And so, like every couple months, I'll take it apart and clean it, and get all the junk out of it and all that. But it just amazes me at how much stuff actually gets inside of it.
Yeah, it's my dog. We have 2 dogs, and I have a little. It's a mix between a pincer and a Chihuahua, and that thing has these little micro hairs that get everywhere, and we're always finding them in the phone case. It's like, where in the hell did this come from?
Yeah,
So,
my dog's a husky mix, so she sheds really bad,
let's
at different
hope
times of the
for
year. And my vacuum is working overload. 69S.
Gotta
Any
look.
doubling?
And no doubling.
It's all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I started checking all my 69s a little better. Those are very valuable. I didn't realize how valuable they were.
Yep. Never take 69 for granted.
And wait, so and then the FG and the floating roof, right?
Yeah, but the FG has to be completely gone.
Yeah, gone.
And the floating roof. Okay. So there's no remnant of the floating roof. So this is actually a floating roof because there is no remnant on either side.
Mm-hmm.
So
And that FG looks like it was real weak.
It's really weak, but it's still there.
Yeah,
But
right.
there's no remnant on the roof. So the actual roof is good. So this is a floating roof.
Yeah.
Silver addiction. What follows the 6-man mouthwash? Yeah, or hand sanitizer.
Yeah. Alcohol.
Yeah.
Or maybe alcohol precedes.
Yeah. And then my first weedy.
Oh, nice.
But it's not that great, but it's a wheat. 15 rolls, and I found for my first wheat.
That's not bad. My son's mother, who helps me search pennies, her first box ever, we found it was somewhere between 145 and 150 wheats. So she is consistently upset at every box she gets now because it has nowhere near that amount of wheats in it. And so, she's learned to live with it a bit. She still likes hunting the pennies, but she got spoiled on her first box. And she was commenting the other day. I had my boxes sitting here, and she came over, and she was like, "Where's my box of pennies?" And I was like, "Oh, I got two right there." And she's like, "Oh," and she looks at them both and goes, "Okay, this is the lucky one," and pulls it out and starts going through it. And a couple hours later, I was asking her what the tally and everything was, and she's like, it wasn't the lucky box, but now the other one's still sitting here. And I got this feeling that there's going to be more stuff in that one, and she'll be a little better about that. But I let her go through the pennies unless, like, I'm that bored. She enjoys it, and she knows what to look for and sets everything aside. So I keep it all. She just likes the act of going through it.
Were you? I think it was you that was on the stream with me when. So JB Coins.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Coin Sonic or something. Yeah.
No, JB Coins. It's actually JB Coins Inc. That's their channel. It's J and B.
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah.
They run an auction. Great people.
Yeah, it's like what, like 200 and some odd thousand subscribers, right?
Yeah, they had like 240,000. Great people. And my daughter, we were watching this, and I was like, "Oh man, I want to do these wheat pennies, but they always go for so much." And I don't know if I want to do this because people, the bags they give, they're like 70 or 80 in a bag. It's not just the 50.
Mm-hmm.
They always do more, so they sell a little bit more. Face value, they always end up being $2 or so, $3 a piece.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was kind of going through all these, and I was like, I don't think I want to buy this. And she goes, "Dad, buy it." And then the next lot was a bag of Indian cents. And they had just bought a, they're great people. I love them, David. They had just bought a $500 bag or $1,000 bag or whatever it is.
Oh, okay.
Indian heads from their coin shop because they collect them. They were just throwing them away in there. And they went through, they were doing, I was going to watch them, but I ended up doing some other stuff and wasn't able to get back over there. And so they were going through, so I bought one. My daughter's like, "Buy it, Dad, buy it." And I'm like, "Oh my God, I'm going to spend so much money on pennies. It's fine. I'll do it." And so I got him back, and I was going to do a live stream. And I think you were on that stream.
Mm-hmm.
But I found a hold on. It's in my typeset book. And like the 7th or 8th penny I found was a 1959 laurel wreath Indian head cent. It's the first year.
Oh, wow.
Right. And I was like, 1859. That is a really key year, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's sometimes things go crazy there. It can get pretty pricey there really quick, but they always have really, really, really good quality stuff. You'll never see a junk coin from them. The pennies, obviously, they get older and stuff, but so I was like, holy cow. And I was actually streaming the search.
Oh, okay.
And my daughter was like, looks at me like, told you.
Well, what kind of shape was it in?
Hold on just a sec. Let me grab it. It was actually in really good shape for it being 1859. So this is coming out of my typeset book. Anyway, like 9 coins later, here's the 1859. Oh yeah, there's some major collectors involved, and collectors with a lot of money. So you can see that has some environmental damage.
Oh, that's in great shape for its age.
Yeah.
I see Indian head cents that look like garbage.
Yeah.
That's dealable. I mean, that's, yeah.
Okay. Now,
So you found that in that bag.
Now, like 7 coins later, I found that one.
Ooh, you
Now,
can
this
see
one's
details of
cleaned.
the feathers.
This one's been cleaned. You can look at the coin and see the coloration of it. So it's definitely been cleaned. But I found 2 key typeset coins in that. And my daughter was like, I told you. And I was like, sweetheart, you don't find stuff like this all the time. It's just not, it's
Yeah,
not a
it's
thing.
not the thing. You got lucky.
I found 1864 in that bag. So I found all 3 of it. So I switch my cameras. Hold on just a sec. Let me add my other camera. I had it, and then that funky thing that happened when I did the.
Oh yeah. And then
And I still do not know what happens, or what happened. So let me add that. So here's my typeset book, and you have to excuse me. I've got stuff.
oh no, yeah, I get it. My desk looks horrible
Yeah.
constantly.
So here's my Flying Eagle scent. And then there's the 1859, the 1860, and then the 1865. I found all 3 of those in that bag.
Nice.
So now they say, J and B, they say they do not search them. There's too many to go through. They're a little bit older couple, and they're like, we don't search them. Whatever comes in, comes in. We grab them, we throw them in the bag, we wrap them, and we put them on auction. And a lot of people are like, yeah, whatever. Yeah, okay, sure, whatever, right? But I wouldn't have found those 2 or 3 coins if I took them. There's
and
no
even
way.
if the 1860s cleaned, that's in
and
great shape.
they have. I just was like, holy smokes! So awesome finds. Now I have one other. I want to see if I can find it. I have one other coin I want to look at under the scope. And I want you to tell me what you see here. J is old and B is younger. I don't know. All I know is they're amazing freaking people. I love these. I love those 2. Do you see doubling on that 69?
Yeah. I had, where is it? I got one. Where is it? Maybe I threw it back because I had one. It wasn't that bad, but I had one where I could see, but it was more beat up than that. And I could see doubling on the 9 and the 1. It looked very similar to that's doubling. Now the only issue is going to be. No, that's real doubling because look how small the 6 is in comparison. That whole tail is part of the doubling because it's supposed to stop where the raised line is. So, yeah, that's doubling. I don't even think that's machine doubling. That's, oh, yeah. Well, yeah. That's completely doubled.
Yeah.
That doesn't look like machine doubling to me. Again, I'm no expert, but. Anything on the back?
So,
what's Variety Vista say? Did you look on there at all? Because
yeah,
it'll show you.
You can see there's the remnant of the roof there.
Yeah,
And
the other
there, and then the FG is there. But
Okay.
that's definitely doubling from the 1969S.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, you can check Variety Vista.
And I found this in a penny roll search about a month ago.
Yeah, mine looked not that bad, but like I said, mine was beat up more. So like the 6, you could see what you're seeing there, like the tail being much longer. And then you could see the first 9, but the last 9 you couldn't see anything.
Yeah. So I don't see anything really in Liberty. Maybe a little bit on the B, but you don't really see it. Maybe they're on the T. but you can't, or the R, but you can't really see anything in Liberty. But that trust is unmistakable, and the 69 and the S are unmistakable.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. That's maybe like somewhere around, like, remember they had the really bad doubling, and then maybe they were trying to fix stuff, like, improve the dies to repurpose them, and maybe this is like an early stage of them after being, some corrections being made. I don't know. Because to my understanding, that's what happens is when they go in to fix it, they assume that some of this is going to go away as it's, put through its paces. So on this one, it may be, more prominent, like what you're seeing here. And then on others, it's going to be almost impossible to tell because all those details will kind of wear away on the previous error. So yeah, that's, I'm right there with you, because even if you look, I don't think it would be machine doubling, because look how far the first 9 is off versus the second 9. So it's like, it's a different rate of, because machine doubling, from what I hear, it's off the same in the same directions across whatever it is, whether it's type or whatever. The machine doubling is very consistent, and this is not consistent.
Yeah. So if you look at the direction, you can see it across the T, the R, the U, the ST. You can see just a little bit in that U. I don't think you can see anything. You can it kind of disappears over here. And I don't really see anything in the Liberty. But when you're looking at it, I mean, if you look at, you can even see it in his chin right there.
Yeah.
You can see it in the nose. You can see it in his forehead. So, well, no, I don't think is that right? Yeah, you can see it in the chin. You can see it in his nose, but you can't see it on his forehead. But yeah, you can see it there on the nose. You can see it there but cool.
So now that's not the big bad boy, but that's definitely something. Let me see. The FS 101 is, it's worse than that, but it's similar, but then you'd have it all over Liberty and everything else. So that's the FS 101. So
the FS 101 is the big bad boy.
yeah. So
that's not machine doubling. That's a true double die.
yeah. So
This is
then,
probably FS 301 or FS 501.
did you check it on Variety Vista yet?
I have not.
Let me see.
Did I pull it back out and let's do that? Anybody else want to do that? There are many different doublings for the 1968. Yeah.
On pennies.
I don't have any double dies on the 68. I do have another one on the 69. Let me pull that out because I found these two in the same roll.
Yeah, so the DDO 2 isn't even as bad as what you have there, and that's the only thing that they're showing right now. But yours is worse than the DDO 2 as far as like what you can see. Like theirs is very minimal. Like that last 9, there's like nothing there. You can see it on the 6 a little. You can see it on the S a little. I'm trying to see the U in Trust. I don't see it on the Trust in this one.
What's the name of that site?
Variety Vista. It takes forever to load. It actually loaded like really fast on this one.
Yeah, then the other one that I have, which is probably the other, is this one, and you can see it. This is very minimal. You can see it in the 1, the 9, the S.
Yeah, that looks closer to. Yeah, that
the
looks closer
SP.
to what they're showing in the.
Yeah, so that one's not nearly as substantial as the other one.
That's almost exactly what I'm seeing on Variety Vista right now. For the oh, let me get back in here. DDO 002. It has listed on here. And I think it does say though, it claims it's possibly machine doubling, like that one. It says shows, yeah, machine damage doubling shows on date and mint mark. It says there should be die scratches north to south outside column number 12. I don't, that would be on the reverse. I don't know. I don't know.
Scratches north to south where?
They say on column 12, whatever that is on the back. And that's the early die state. They don't have anything on the late die state or the medium or the mid die state.
Yeah, so I think die stage. Yeah, this would definitely be the 002.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's got all the right markers for 002. So this one is definitely that one. The other one, where the hell did I just put it? No, where did I put the other one? Oh, good Lord. Where did I just set you? There it is. So that one's way more substantial.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So,
yeah, I'd definitely hang on to that one.
Yeah, but the thing is that it doesn't have, like, you can see it in Trust, but it doesn't have, so it's definitely not an FS 101.
No.
So I think this would probably be, I wonder if there's going to be another one. Where would be another place to look at outside of, yeah, thanks, Silver Addiction. They were found in the same row. And then I heard people saying, "Oh my God, they're so cool. They're hard to find." And I'm like, I don't understand. I just found 2 of them. But then I haven't found squad else. I need to put these back and make sure I know which ones are which. The other one that I found, and I'll show you this one. This one was really cool. Ow. I hate staplers.
Let me see if I can.
Coppercoins.com or doubledie.com. You know what? Hold on just a second. I've got a problem. I don't know what the hell is going on. Why is my... So my chat... I think I have my thumbnail for this stream, though.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see.
So okay, Lincoln Sense Online. DDO. See, now this is weird because okay, that's the one. That's a regular one.
Do me a favor. Put something in chat real quick.
Who, me?
You. Thanks for coming in, Silver Addiction. We appreciate it. I appreciate the conversation and the hello. Yeah, I wanted to make sure you had your wrench.
Yeah. So I'm looking here, and actually, they are saying a lot of this is. They're claiming a lot of this is machine doubling on the dates, which is weird.
The small one, I can see that on the 69. I can see that as on that one. The other one, not so much.
No, yeah. I mean, I agree with you. But because the ones that they only have one where the S's got any kind of doubling on it, and it's to the south. It's not to the north like yours is on all of the examples that they're showing. And also, they're showing machine doubling all over Liberty, and also the nose and the chin. And they're calling all of that machine doubling. At least in the examples that they're giving. Like, they're all submitted by the same person, so I'm guessing I would like to think it's the same coin. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but see, I don't have, so I'm going to have to find out about that one. I'm not sure what that would be classified as. So maybe I need to send that off and find out. Actually, you know what I do? Hold on just a second. Let's do this. I have why is it not letting me do it? Thanks again for coming by, Silver Addiction. Appreciate you. Oh yeah, please do so. Yeah. I'll definitely like to help you on doing that. I can't do it because I'm in USB mode. I'll have to take a photo of this later, and then I'll just put it in and ask.
There you go.
And I ran out of staples.
Oh, I bought some time ago. I bought me a giant Staples. Philip,
there is my favorite Mercury dime person.
Philip.
Oh man, you want to talk about somebody who loves Merc? This dude is the Merc dime addiction dude.
I got some coming from Coin Junkie. I bought one of those little packs he had of them. And then I got whatever I have sitting around.
Yeah, you know, I remember that because I put in chat that I was going to buy or spend $1 more than you every time you bid. And then Miss Coin Crew told me to stop it. I quit picking on him. Yeah. Philip actually has some Mercs for me. I can't pick them up until I get back from vacation, though.
I went to a pawn shop in, where was I? Fort Wayne, Indiana, just because I was like, I want to stop in and see what they got for coins. Like, how bad can it be? This guy wanted $10 for Merc dimes. And I told him he was crazy. And he just wouldn't listen to reason. He's like, oh no, those are old, those are hard to get. I was like, I mean, yeah, a little, but yeah, I see like a little premium on them, but you know, $250 a piece or something.
Where's the 1916? Where's the 1926?
Yeah. So, and the upsetting thing was the reason why I was asking him, he had bags of them. Somebody, some idiot, whoever brought in, it was probably like 4 or 5 bags of, it had to be, I'm guessing like $5 face. Well, wait, no.
Yeah, Philip's like $10 each. He's seeing money, but many things under his eyes.
No, it was
Yeah.
probably more like, what's a roll of dimes? $5, right? So it was probably like $25 a bag face. And he had 5 bags of them. But he wanted $10 a dime. And so obviously we could not come to an agreement.
Hey, North Shore, thanks for coming in. Appreciate you being here, keeping up with chat. We definitely appreciate it. Please stop on in and holler at me anytime you're around. It was an honor having you on the channel. Thank you.
Yeah, so you're almost up to what? Are you over 500 subs now?
No, I think
you're,
I
there.
think we're 60.
You're closing in on it.
I think I need 60 to 500. Yeah, I need to figure out what I'm going to do for my 500 subs.
I don't worry about that stuff as much because I don't know. I mean, it's definitely a nice thing to do, but like, who was it? Channel Trader Bubba's. I think he gave away and I thought he was crazy for doing so. Maybe I'm crazy, but he gave away like a 10-ounce bar at like 300 subs or something, which, again, I'm not knocking it. Like, that's great, but that seems excessive. Right? Even I cannot say I've given away 10 ounces of not at one time. I've given away stuff, plenty of stuff, but not 10 ounces at one time in a subscriber giveaway.
I'm more looking at just doing some more eclectic, more of the collector's end. I still have, and I don't know if anybody's, holy smokes, check that out. That's like the third 69 I found in this. Sorry, squirrel.
No, you're fine.
To those of you that don't know, if you haven't already, hey, Jimmy, Mr. Lacari, thanks for coming in. At the end of March, I am pulling one viewer from the streams from Salivate Metal and from Coin Crew, the people who comment. You have to read the description in those interviews. It isn't Coin Crew. It's Salivate Metal, and I haven't done the other one yet. I got to do the other one.
You still have a bunch more lined up, don't you?
I've got 3 lined up. I've got 2 that are coming out. I've got one. Hoosier Stacker is coming out on Thursday. John Howe, the staple in many of our channels.
Okay.
He's coming out on Tuesday. Now, I'm not going to be here, so they're not going to be premieres because I will be knee deep in margaritas and sand. So those 2 are coming out, and then I have BH lined up. Him and I have had a hard time kind of connecting, but he's going to come on, and then I want to get I'm going to try and reach out to somebody else who either makes like the coin jewelry or does somebody who does the smithing end.
Okay.
So that we can get kind of all of the aspects of the hobby included in that interview series. The next video I'm working on, and I'm going to have to take a hiatus on it because it's just, there's so much information. And this one is done for Philip almost primarily. And that is a little bit about um, the creator of the Mercury dime, the artist, the sculptor.
Oh,
Did
isn't it like Weinman or something?
Rudolph Weinman, yeah.
Yeah.
And so I did the Mercury dime one a little bit ago where I talked about the mythology and kind of why Weinman chose the Wyman chose Mercury. But what I didn't go over, what I really hadn't talked about, was to look at. Yeah, I thought about Kavan or Silver Keys. I think Silver Keys is the one that's going to be the one that I request because a lot of people know them
Mhm.
and they do a lot of good stuff for the community.
Oh yeah.
I think they're going to be the ones that I request an interview with. Um,
Yeah, I have a lot of Kevin stuff. I have some stuff from Keys, uh, but I have a decent amount from Kevin.
Yeah, so I'm going to be looking at that. But the whole purpose for doing the Mercury dime was, or the one I didn't cover in the Mercury dime. The purpose for doing this next one is to kind of talk a little bit about the sculptor, right? Because when you look at people who do a lot of these things, most of them are mentors,
Hmm.
right? They're the engraver, but he was a sculptor. I mean, he actually did sculpture. He worked with clay, he worked with stone, he worked with brass. And so I want to tell the story of why the president chose him in particular. But Philip knows this. He designed the Walker as well, right? He also, before that, or along with that, developed some of the medals that were done for state as well as for it was like a memorial, a war memorial, or something like that. I can't recall the item off the top of my head,
Oh wow, I'm just now looking at some of this.
but
Holy
there was so
cow.
much about Weinman that is cool that I want to do. I want to do a story about the person who created it. Now, little sneak peek into the video. There's actually a bust of uh, is it Weinman's wife? I think, if not, it's somebody like the Mint director's wife or something like that. That he did a bust, and that is actually the person that the actual face of the Mercury dime is modeled after. And so they show a picture of her bust, and then they show of her face, not her bust. Um, well, let me correct myself here. I did speak wrong on that. Um, but he just a remarkable craftsman. But he wasn't a minter. He wasn't somebody who only focused on um, uh, the minting, the press, that type of work. He actually did sculpture and did carvings and did brass work and did just a lot of cool things. And so the next one that I'm going to do in that Mercury Dime series is a really in-depth review of some of his work, some of the stuff he's done. Talking about uh, yeah, I think that's correct. He he did engraving and was really skilled at sculpting at a very young age. Um, Moved here from Germany early on. I think it was the 1850s or something like that, and just really had a really good, solid career. But he did so much more prior to the Mercury Dime, the Walker and the things like that, that a lot of people still don't know who he is. Um, so I really want to target that and then be kind of doing the coin series. There's so much coin history out there that people like Coin Help You and things like that do such a good job on. But what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to find those gaps in the stories, right? We talk about the coin, but why don't we talk about the person? And that kind of goes along with my premise for, and you and I talked about this.
Hmm.
You know, what is my purpose in here? It's to share and to, get information and. Ooh, sorry, that was really loud. To share people's stories and stuff, and I want to do the same with some of the artists and some of the sculptors. But my name is Frostbite Coins and Collectibles. I also want to get into showing some of the stuff, and I've got some people that I buy artwork and custom drawings and stuff of. They do. A good friend of mine was an illustrator for the Game of Thrones. She actually designed the Iron Throne, right? So
Oh, cool.
some of her artwork and get some of those people engaged as well, because you know people collect a lot of different stuff, but I want to kind of talk not just about the coins, but I want to embrace the other collector side of the hobby as well. So, but what do you got going on? What are you going to be working on next?
I'm staring at my thumbnail for the next video. I'm I'm doing a piece on just like I guess investing in precious metals in general. And it's a shot across the bow at anyone who may be tiptoeing over to our side of stacking silver and precious metals. So I'm trying to really hone down on the channel and I guess just be more consistent, bring I guess more information but more perspective and thing to the videos. And I'm trying to kind of balance that to where I can give something of value to an existing stacker, but also if somebody's interested, sorry about that notification, somebody's interested in precious metals or doing some research, maybe kind of grab somebody that may not otherwise be investing and see if I can or be that catalyst that kind of pushes them over the edge and go, oh, okay, wait a minute. So it's the title's catchy, and so we'll see how it does. But I discovered something on my last video, and we can talk offline about the specifics of it. But you know how you do these videos, and into the video, I know like all of mine, like 30 seconds in, you're sitting at like, I don't know, 60% of your viewers are still watching. Like, and a lot of that's not your diehard subscribers. That's all the new people that are seeing your content for the first time. So, and then I've had my other channel. I mean, that's just common, right? You have that big ski slope at the beginning of your retention.
Yep.
The last video I did, 30 seconds into the video, I still had like 75% of the people, and there was no ski slope. I think at like 10 or 15 seconds, it was like 80 or 90.
Oh wow.
Like, yeah, so it was a much slower slope. Like they gave me time to see what's this guy talking about before they clicked off. So I'm hoping that I can, try to learn from and build on that and kind of develop hopefully a format that, fixes both things. I get a little more watch time. People get, to actually watch the video and get the information out of it. The one I did before that, which was the how to stack silver without money, which is funny because the way I set it up, in hindsight, I should have done it differently. But I started with like the obvious things, and it killed the retention because I guess when people get in there and like the first tip is like, oh, sell stuff that you don't need. Like, yeah, I could have figured that out. Like that, And so I think I lost a lot of people there. But the upsetting thing about that is the ones towards the end of the video are extremely helpful for all kinds of people, YouTubers and anybody really. So it was kind of upsetting because not that many people got to like the better ones. So I'm starting to kind of figure out like you got to lead strong, keep people interested, kind of. And so I'm looking at it more technically instead of just kind of throwing things out there and seeing what sticks.
Yeah, that's definitely a discussion I'd like to have with you because, do me a favor, everybody who's still in chat, put a little dot or something so that I get credit for it. That's something else that's hard, right? Because when you're streaming, you need that chat active.
Oh, yeah. And you know what's funny on mine? I don't know what's going on with this. I don't get any watch time from live streams.
It doesn't happen until after your stream is done.
No, I've looked back at like 3-hour live streams and I have like a half an hour of watch time. It doesn't give me credit for anyone that's in the stream at the time. The only thing it shows me is who watches it after it got posted. After it rendered at the end of the stream and then became a video. That's the only thing it shows me for watch time on them. So I've had like plenty of live streams where it's like an hour or two of watch time for like a 3-hour live stream, which makes no sense to me.
Do you do you use OBS?
Well, a version of it, yeah, Streamlabs, which is a graphical interface basically they built on top of OBS, but yeah.
Is that where you get your word games?
Yeah, that's on there. It's on Streamlabs, the chat word. Yeah.
Because I use StreamYard, and I'm wondering if I should shift.
Well, does StreamYard have anything like that?
I don't know. I need to look.
Because
they have Hangman.
Oh, do they?
Yeah.
Okay. That's kind of similar.
So, but I like that game. That game's much more interactive.
Oh, the chat words? Yeah, there's tic-tac-toe too, but it's real easy to beat the computer. So it's not as fun. So I like the chat words a little better.
Yeah, because that's something that if you're engaged, it's definitely something that is definitely beneficial to the channel. And I have Nightbot, but I don't have it set up yet, so I need to work through that.
Oh yeah, don't even get me started on that. I still have problems with mine from time to time.
But yeah, but it's one of those things that Plus, if you're going to have Nightbot, you have to have somebody who's set up as a new super moderator, because you need to be able to manage if Nightbot gets out of hand and you can make them a moderator. Then you have to have somebody outside of you who can fix it in case you're really busy trying to do your stream stuff.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of that kind of stuff that you need to look for. But
all right.
Go ahead.
Well, I think I'm going to hop off here. It's getting late on the East Coast.
Yeah, I was actually just about to say that I think I'm about to end this stream. Okay. I'll probably stay up for another couple minutes to see if anybody else wants to come up. Look at this. That is I'm finding a lot of 1969s in this box. I ain't afraid of no butt, says David.
John Howell's, the point John's making is like the first paragraph of a book, and those things are true, but usually, historically, let's look at it. Things like TikTok and things like, generally speaking, any of our normal stackers and people who are already kind of in the community probably give us a fair shake when they click on our videos. They're not the ones just, vehemently clicking off when they're not entertained. So it's more, I think, aligned with trying to catch some of the other fish in the sea, so to speak. Because I mean, I'm sure there's plenty of stackers that have checked my videos and determined that I'm not the channel for them or whatever have you, which is fine. But I think that 30 seconds, because I know when I watch videos, I mean, unless it's like completely left field, I watch the video. I don't understand these people that click off. It just doesn't. I don't get, like, if I took the time to click, unless, like I said, I'm way outside of like my interest and I'm just watching random stuff, then maybe, right, I'll click off of something if it's truly not interesting. But like in terms of like stacking or like anything else that I'm actually interested in, I give them a fair shake. Like, I'll watch their video and see if, now if it's a how-to and it's horrible or I can't hear them or something like that, I'll click off too. But if it's something I'm interested in, I'll watch the video and see how it goes. Like, it's just weird because on YouTube, average retention is like, what, you might get people to watch half your video on average.
If
Half
that.
of your audience to watch half of the video. The amount of people that get all the way through a video, it's like maybe 10 to 15% on average. It's crazy.
I was watching a video and again, totally different genre, but the dude's, he basically rewrote YouTube, and that's the Beast, right? Mr. Beast.
Yeah.
And he was saying that he will go through and he will go, at what point did I lose people? What was I doing? What was I not doing? And then if he was doing something during that time frame, like monologuing,
Yeah.
he won't do it ever again.
Well, I don't know about ever again, but if he does, he will do it in a much different way than, yeah. And that's, yeah, I've been trying to do that with mine too. The problem is, as far as right now and their analytics, I only have like one video where they recorded like what they call a dip in viewership, and I think it's negligible. Like, I've looked at it, I've seen what it is and where it's at and what was going on. I looked at all that. But like, mine's just a very general slope down. Like, there's no heavy point where everyone's just like, oh no, I'm not watching this. So that's one of the reasons why it's been really hard for me, because I'm close, but I'm not the greatest storyteller. And a lot of our videos, are not, they're more on the informative side, I guess, than like the entertainment side. So it's kind of hard to bridge that. And I think that's where I'm trying to navigate now, is to balance. I'm not going to do some crazy high energy, YouTube persona to try to keep viewers, but trying to balance that entertainment versus information that we're trying to do.
Yeah. So one of the things that I have with, so like the one that says my short, that's like, how to ruin your coin, right?
Oh, the one where they were cleaning it or whatever?
Yeah, with a toothpick.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, they're scraping it. Yeah.
And you could never go back from doing the previous step. And I was like, yeah, he can't, right? 'Cause he's over there digging with it, the toothpick. Yeah, you can't go back. My retention went up and stayed up. It never came down.
But that's a short, right?
It's a really, really short. But when you look at my average view duration, it goes up. It's like 240%, because people watch it 2 or 3 times, and then it dropped to 160%. but it stays at 160%, which means that my average viewers watching it 1.5 times.
Awesome.
What was it they were trying to do? And so now it's only a 20-second video. It's really, really short, right?
Mhm.
But it's like, okay, so what was it about that really made people go back? And that is, you have a very small thing up front, and then you talk about it. Then they want to go back and see what it was at the beginning. And that's how you get that flip on retention,
Mm.
right? But how do you do that and keep people interested? Because the first part of it can sometimes be boring. What are they doing here? Oh, and then it changes. Oh,
Yeah.
well, what was he talking about?
Have you seen the guy that does shorts where he's legitimately cleaning coins? He's got like I think last video I saw,
Like 2 million subscribers.
yeah, it's like 300,000 views on his shorts, and he takes a coin, world coins, like different ones. I'm sure he's not in the U.S., but he puts it down. It's like the generated voice, so it's not even him talking. And he's got a toothbrush and this set of things that he cleans with, soap and then toothpaste and other stuff. But he tapes the coin down and only cleans half of it. So you can see like the one side and the other. But that's it. That's literally it. Dude hasn't even changed his toothbrush. I think he put googly eyes on it to make it like a little more funny or whatever. But he's just using the same stuff. And he's just, I'm sure the work is longer than the short, obviously, right? But he's just scrubbing the coin with different stuff until he's completely ruined it, and then shows the coin at the end. That's it. And people love it. Love it. I don't know how much money he's making, but he's making money for sure. And I'm just looking at this like, just fire me. I quit. Like, I don't get it. Like, sometimes people doing the wrong things garner more attention than, because there's all kinds of comments in there, coin collectors like crying about him destroying coins on a regular basis for views. But luckily, I haven't seen him try to destroy anything real nice. They're just like random world coins and things. But geez.
There's this one kid, and I wish I could find his videos. He has done a couple like how it's like how to clean your coins using salt or something.
Oh, I think I know this one. It's like cold water or something, and he switches.
So he has all these views or something like that, and he puts in baking soda and salt and all this, and it's like he's got 108,000 views, right?
Yeah.
And then you go look at his next one, and it's how do you recover gold by using salt. He's got 580,000 views, right? How do you clean coins correctly? And then he's showing this like tarnish remover and a Q-tip, right? Making it look right. And he's got 488,000 views. But every one of these is just no. Or how do you take off nasty black silver and they put it in a what's the thing called? The vibrating thingy.
Oh, the ultrasonic cleaner.
Yeah. And it's like I get having like 9,000 views after like 2 years, but these are like 2 years old, 11 months, and they've got 500,000 views. It's like,
oh yeah,
what
yeah.
in the hell?
Yeah, it's I was just Googling earlier this evening. I really want to figure out how they professionally clean coins? I want to know, not only for my own purposes, but that would be a great video. The only problem is, according to the powers that be, it's only right if we do it. There are no, even if, let's just say, even if I unlock the Da Vinci Code and I figure out exactly what they do, exactly what chemicals they use, blah, 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 and I could follow their practices to a T, right? But if you send that to PCGS or NGC, they're still going to say it was cleaned, but not by us. And because it's not by us, it's a clean coin. So, you've damaged it. But and that's the funny thing is they can do it, right? They both do it. And maybe even ANAX probably has a service somewhere in there too, where they'll, do whatever it is that they call cleaning to a coin. But it's okay for them to do it. You can almost guarantee that each of them have slightly different methods or standards or whatever. But it's okay for them to do it and completely acceptable for them to clean these coins and then give it a grade and say that it's not damaged and everything is fine. But if anybody else tries anything and they can tell that it's been tampered with or whatever, then all of a sudden it's cleaned. It seems like it's kind of a racket to me on, why it's like they're trying to keep it like it's some trade secret, but at the same time, punishing people on their submissions. If a coin's been cleaned, well, then tell us how to clean it the right way, but they won't because that's a loss of revenue for them. So it's like, it's this thing that I've been battling with in my head for a while. Like, I really want to know what is the acceptable method for cleaning coins. Like, they can do it, which means with some training and information, general people should be able to do it, right? It's not like they went to coin cleaning college for 4 years to learn how to do it. Like, it's more than likely some form of on-the-job training and SOP that they've created on how this process works. But they keep it a secret. It's upsetting because, I think the coin community could benefit from that knowledge, and they're keeping it a secret, or, to some degree. I'm sure maybe if we find the right disgruntled employee from the right department, we might be able to get some information. But again, if I clean it properly, whatever that process would be, and send it into them, they're still going to claim that it was cleaned, if assuming they could tell, right?
Yeah, I think one of the things that I've heard is that they utilize a modified version of electrolysis.
That's
Um,
what, Real
and
Ruler told me that.
they don't use, number one, you don't scrub it. Number two, you tap it or pat it dry. And then if you're going to use something like an acetone or something like that, acetone, if you're going to rinse it off, it's got to be immediate and quick, right? Just real quick. And then you dab it and tap it with, whatever cloth or whatever it is you use. But I can't recall. I think if I remember, they use, it has to be distilled water. It has to be something with absolutely nothing. And they use, what's it called? It's a certain type of electrolysis, where it doesn't affect the varnish or the like the cartwheel, the original surface that's on. You don't want to use acetone on copper. I'm trying to remember what that's called. but it's different than you would find if you went to a restoration service that did stuff like old shipwrecks, right? So that the way that they restore that, that's not a quick one time thing. That takes a long time, and those people sit there for hours with very, very fine bristled brushes and just very gently go over each crevice and each crack, and but that's painstaking work.
Right. Yeah, and the thing that they claim on the grades and the cleaning in their official coin grading seminar is it. Let's just say let's say you were having something like you were hoping to get something regraded and upgraded. So you send something in and say it was like an MS-66. They're saying, assuming that the grade was right on the coin, which is where we'll be at, and you were going to have that cleaning service done to it. Their official claim in that seminar is that you might get like a half a grade, maybe. So like you may go from a 66 to a 66 plus, like you're not going to their cleaning is not going to get you a grade. That's their claim. Which is, I don't know, kind of questionable at best. Hard to tell, especially if it's like a new coin. So like in my opinion, it would be also interesting to find out at what point is the coin cleaned, right? Do you look at the coin before it's cleaned and assign the grade to it, and then it gets polished up, for lack of a better term, and then you holder it? Or do you clean it first and then assess the grade? Because that seems like it could be beneficial, right? And maybe in some cases detrimental. Maybe cleaning it and the toning coming off or whatever it is that they're doing would expose other problems with the coin that would make it suffer on the grading. I'm not sure, but it's just part of the, like, you almost want to get us like a job at their service, just so you can kind of figure out how things work on the inside, because it's going to be the only way to find out what really goes on in there.
No, I hear you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I am done. I am spent. I have gone through almost a box of pennies and a half a box of nickels. I found maybe a roll and a half of copper. I found one wheat cent. And on my nickels, I found a 51 and a 53S, and that is all. So not very productive. However, conversation was great. Matt, appreciate you coming up.
Yeah, of course.
I appreciated having Hoosier come up. I appreciated having BH come up. This was a lot of or not BH, JM come up. So I appreciate you guys. Y'all take care. If you haven't already done so on the way out, please hit that like, and we will catch you guys later, and I'll see you guys through various channels. Thanks, Pat. Appreciate you. Are you going live tomorrow?
No, well, I don't know. I think Flip's going to stream tomorrow. I don't know when, but he said he's doing a pop-up because he wasn't able to do it tonight. So I don't know when that's going to be. So we'll see. Thanks for coming in, David, North Shore, Kinomine, RD3. I appreciate you all being here. John Howe, it's always a pleasure. I appreciate you coming in, brother. I really do. And I know that Philip, thank you for coming in. Jimmy, if you're still around, appreciate you being here. And Annette, as always, if I missed anybody, don't mean to forget about you. Siren's over here. Siren's been
Larkin. So, but I appreciate you all coming in and visiting. So Matt's like, hang up already. So take
No,
care.
you hang up. No, you hang up.
Yeah, no. Y'all take care. I'm out here.
Have a good
Bye.
night, everyone.
You too. Bye-bye.